shield from a double-knot spy car.
You have to bang so loud I can hear you clean out in the kitchen.
If you think it's loud in the kitchen, you ought to be under here.
Jethro! Hey, boy.
Yeah, Uncle Jim, what?
Why don't you do your pounding with a tub up? That way you could see what you're doing and it wouldn't be so hard on your ears.
Yeah. Uncle Jim, you know something? You're smart enough to be a double-knot spy yourself. You want to come with me to the West Indies and join up?
West Indies?
Yeah, that's where Double Knot 7 is right now.
I think I'll pass it.
It's a lot of fun. Pretty girls, danger, excitement.
I thought you had give up your double-note spying.
I can't, Uncle Jed. It's in my blood. I'm cut out for all that fighting and loving.
Well, there you was right keen on being a brain surgeon.
Why, them rascals don't even lay in the same kraut barrel with the double knots. Why, a brain surgeon might go for days without doing no worthwhile fighting or loving. That's my ejector seat.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're bound and determined, huh, boy?
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed. The minute I read old Double Knot 7 was over there in the West Indies, I said, Jethro, pack up and get going.
What's all that stuff?
Oh, this here's my iron hat. This here's my double knot spy coat. Got all the tools of the trade in here. Weapons, disguises, telegraph set.
Yeah, I know about your spy coat.
You don't know I got it armor plated. I'm a walking tank with this on.
Fine, boy. What's all this other stuff?
This here's victuals for my trip.
How far is it to this here West Indies?
Oh, it's way over yonder. Clean the other side of Kansas City.
Well, couldn't you live here at home and do your work in town?
No, sir. Double Knot Spies ain't got no Beverly Hills office.
Can you open one?
Just between you and me, I ain't a real for sure official Double Knot Spy yet.
How come?
Just can't find out where to go to join up.
I see.
That's why I got to drive to the West Indies.
Well, maybe if you opened up an office here and done a real good job, they'd hear about it and come to you.
You reckon so?
Well, it's worth a try, and it sure beats driving clean the other side of Kansas City. I'll stake it to the rent.
I'll pay you back quick as I save my first country.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'll call Mr. Drysdale and see has he got an empty office in his bank building.
Jethro, grab that chicken. I got a job for you.
Bye, Uncle Jed. Hey, tell Mr. Drysdale I'm on my way.
Come back, Jethro.
Here you are, Jethro. Just the office you've been looking for. Jethro?
Mr. Drysdale. Man, this sure flattens out a feller's arches.
Why are you wearing this heavy coat on such a warm day?
Oh, I can't tell you just yet. It's top secret.
Oh. Well, go on in and take a look around. Go ahead.
Mr. Drysdale, could you give me a little shove to get me started?
I just heard what you're doing. You can't rent this office.
Who says I can?
Well, it's the only vacancy in the building, and the Baker and Associates have been waiting 6 months for it. They're moving in this afternoon.
How much money have they got in my bank?
Well, none.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jed Clampett has a bundle, and he wants his office for Jethro. Now, who do you think's going to get it? Well, Jethro, how do you like it?
Who's Jethro? Didn't know it was me, did you? This is just one of my disguises. I got a whole slew of them.
Why do you need disguises?
Miss Jane, when a fella lives close to danger, he's got to be ready for anything. Help me up, would you?
Jethro, are you double knot spying again?
Shh. Oh, I reckon the place ain't been bugged yet. This is going to be Double Knot Spy headquarters for Beverly Hills.
Chief, did you hear that?
Yes, isn't it marvelous? Welcome, Jethro. It gives me a feeling of great security to have one of you brave chaps so close to my vault.
Am I close to your vault?
This desk is directly over it.
Hot dog! You won't have to worry about it with me sitting here. might have been followed. I'll use an old double knot spy trick and disguise my voice. Hello? Just a minute, I can't hear you. What'd you say? Granny? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. All right, I'll come right now. Leave my spy headquarters open for me, will you? I got to get home and tote Granny's victuals back into the root cellar and pluck a chicken.
Jed, you just can't turn him loose in downtown Beverly Hills.
Granny, let him get this spy stuff out of his system. A couple of days, he'll be wanting to be a streetcar conductor again. Shooting nickels and dimes out of one of them money squirters.
All ready, Pa. Bye, Granny.
Where are you going?
Well, down to Jethro's spy office. Pa says I can be his secretary.
Jed Clampett?
Well, he can keep her eye on the boy. Keep him out of mischief. And she might just meet a fella or two.
Well, all right. If you find one you like, fetch him home for victuals.
Yes, Granny.
Well, I'm all done. See you later.
Wait for your secretary.
My what?
I told Girlie she could work for you down to the spy office.
Oh, no!
Oh,
Now, Granny, he'll be all right.
it ain't him.
Chief, I have not been able to reach Mr. Baker. He's going to show up any minute expecting to move into 205.
You leave Baker to me. Just see that Jethro's happy.
Speaking of Jethro, the building custodian says he's installing all kinds of crazy things up in that office.
Good. He's happy. And so am I. His uncle's paying for it.
You're the boss.
Remember that.
Didn't know it was me, did you? Jethro.
Very clever, Jethro. You're a born spy. What have you got? That thing.
Armor plating. Now, this coat will turn a rifle bullet.
Well, what's this, Jethro?
Don't yank that.
Why not? Do you blow up?
Well, ma'am, this here's a secret weapon. Now, watch my shoe when I yank this. Well, it ain't working right now, but when it does, a pointy blade pops out of the toe of my shoe.
What for?
Well, old Smirsh has got 'em. And if they go to kicking to me, I'm going to kick right back.
Fine work, Jethro. You're a credit to your profession. Now get up to your spy headquarters and make us proud of you.
Yes, sir. I'll do my best. Oh, hey, has anybody been asking for me?
Only the custodian.
No, I mean anyone from International Knot Headquarters.
I don't think so.
Well, they don't use names. Just letters like M or Q.
That's the way I'll be on the lookout for him.
Chief, you shouldn't encourage him to play spy. He's taking it seriously.
Well, so am I. If it'll help keep the Clampett account, he can call me Milburn Goldfinger.
Don't be scared. It's me in disguise.
Oh, remarkable.
But thank you. Now, if M or Q or anybody with knots in their names comes looking for me, be sure to send them to my office.
I'll do that.
Doggone, I sure wish I could get that blade to pop out of my shoe before they come. Oh!
What's the matter?
I must have put it in backwards. Oh, that's smart.
Are you all right?
Sure, I'm a double knot. I'm going to put this back on just in case I go to crying.
Forgive my curiosity, but what was that?
Oh, well, he's just a temporary tenant.
Not on my floor, I hope. Well, I'm Vincent Baker, of Baker and Associates.
Oh, dear.
You seem distressed to see me.
Well, I am, yes.
After him?
Well, Mr. Drysdale will explain everything to you, Mr. Baker.
What is there to explain? I've been waiting for 205 for 6 months. You said it would be ready today. Here I am.
Yes. Well,
Yes?
the chief, this is Mr. Baker. He'd like an explanation about 205.
Well, he's entitled to one. See as he gets it.
Well, looks as though it's up to me, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Tell me, have you ever seen a James Bond movie?
As a matter of fact, I've seen them all.
Oh, good. That will make it easier. You see, Mr. Baker, the nephew of our largest depositor fancies himself another 007.
Vince, maybe you ought to call off this bank job.
Honey, there's $250,000 sitting in that vault under 205. I've been waiting 6 months to get at it.
But the plan isn't working out. That Jethro kid's got the office.
I'll take care of the kid. Besides, it's got to be tonight. The plane's all set. Marty's waiting in Mexico. It'll work out.
Vince, it's too dangerous. This kid may not be as dumb as you heard.
Take a look at his door.
There's my first contact, Ellie. Now, you know what to do.
Come in.
How do you do?
Hi.
We'd like to see Spy Bodine, please. We're from London headquarters.
You are? Hey, Jethro!
Ellie Mae, you dumb old girl, I told you to be sophisticated and mysterious.
But they's from London headquarters. I'll fetch him in, huh?
No, us double knots can't let folks walk in on their own say-so. I gotta check them out through the secret two-way mirror first. Now, you get back out there and sneak that picture off the wall.
Would y'all step over here in front of the secret two-way mirror, please?
Still worried, darling?
No, I think tonight's the night.
You'll have to go back to your office, Ellie Mae. This here is top secret stuff.
Okay, Nut Nut.
It's not. All my calls. I ain't into nobody. Oh, you ain't mad at me for opening up a Beverly Hills headquarters without your say-so.
It is slightly irregular.
Quite.
It's the only way I'd get you to notice me.
As a matter of fact, we've had our eye on you for some time. Right, Kay?
Right.
K? J? K? L? Gee whiz, you're higher than them.
Yes?
What's your initial?
I'm Jay. Gates thought the Beverly Hills office should have top priority.
It's a dandy. Well, right now, there's a secret movie camera taking pictures of us.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. I got it hid in the wall.
Where?
Oh, right over here. Let's see. Where did I hide that rascal? Uh-oh. Must have plastered over the lens.
Well, these things happen. Right, Kay?
Right, Jay.
I got the office bugged.
You have?
Yes, sir. See them pencils over there?
Yes?
Well, one of them is a little wireless microphone and sending set. I think this is it. Oh, by golly, I believe this is just a regular pencil. I guess I was right the first time. Well, anyhow, everything we've said up to now has been recorded on tape.
We'd like to hear it.
Yes, sir. I got a tape recorder hid right here in this drawer. You got something in backwards. Maybe I can remember everything we said. Let's see. When you first walked in, you said that
Never mind.
How am I doing so far?
You mean there's more to show us?
Well, yes, ma'am. I got something in this closet Q section ain't even got. Wait till you see it.
Right under that desk, sweetheart. $250,000.
But how do we get rid of the goof?
We don't. We let him dig through the concrete.
What?
They'll think he's just putting in another spy gadget. And when he's through with the noisy work, tonight I'll come in with the cutting torch and...
This here's my armor-plated spy coat. I got a rig with a tear gas squirter. Now step back and watch this. Looks like I got that in backwards, too. But I got something else to show you. Quick as I get this off. Now watch my shoe. There, I got the bugs out of that. Now if old Schmursh goes to kicking at me, they'll get it right back. Anyway, that's how it works. Well, that's all I got ready to show you right now. Do I get sworn in?
If your escape hatch passes inspection, you're all set.
Hot dog! My what?
The escape hatch under your desk.
I ain't got no escape hatch under my desk. Did you hear that, Kay?
I can't believe it, Jay.
H must never know.
You mean I'm supposed to have a hole in the floor to get through?
That's the first thing you should have prepared.
But I can't make one there.
Did I hear a potential 00 spy say he couldn't build an escape hatch?
Well, not under that desk, you see.
Let's go.
Too bad. He was doing so well.
Had a perfect score up till there.
Give me another chance, please. Wait a minute, listen.
Sorry, we're leaving town tonight.
I'll have one by then.
Is that a promise?
Cross my heart and hope to gas myself.
What do you think, Kay?
We'll never find another brain like his.
He's a 00 if I've ever seen one. Very well. But keep it top secret.
Gee, thanks, Jay. You too, Kay. I'll have it ready when you get back. Hot dog! LMA, you and me's trading offices.
Well, how come?
I gotta cut a hole in the floor, and there's a steel vault under mine.
I'm sure Mr. Drysdale will want to show you Jethro's office personally.
Who's there? That you, Baker?
No, Chief, it's the Clampetts.
Oh.
Come in, come in.
Awful nice of you to have Miss Jane fetch us down.
Oh, not at all. I thought you'd like to see what nice accommodations we've given Jethro.
Hope he ain't being a double-knot nuisance to you, Mr. Drysdale.
On the contrary.
Yes, the Chief was just saying having Jethro here makes the whole building more secure.
Where you going, Jethro?
I'm gonna climb up on your desk and jump through that hole I chiseled in the floor.
Well, ain't no hole there yet.
There will be. Help me up. Stand aside. 1, 2.
Well, let's go up and look at spy headquarters, shall we?
What the blue blazes is going on?
That's my double-knot escape hatch.
Howdy, pal. Howdy, Granny. Ellie Mae, get down here and cover up that hole before somebody gets hurt. Yes'm, Granny.
Sure hope I don't have to escape too often. It's a pretty fair drop.
You mean you busted that hole in the ceiling a purpose?
I had to. Otherwise, Jay wouldn't swear me in.
Who's Jay?
Well, he's the head spy from London. If I'd have put the hole where he wanted me to, I'd have had to bust into your vault.
My vault.
Yes, sir.
Step into my office. I want to hear more.
See him on that page?
No, sir.
How about this page?
There he is. That's old Jay.
It's Tony the Torch Montanero. Alias Vincent Baker. Alias Vince Vecchio. Alias Gene Booth. Alias Bob Graham.
Boy, has he got disguises, huh?
Ellie, You covered the hole, didn't you? Yes, ma'am, Granny. I sewed the carpet back over it.
All right, Tony, on your feet.
How soon will he be back?
In about 10 years.
10 years? I can't wait that long to get swore in. Hey, wait for me.
Someday I gotta have a long talk with that boy.
If you was to tell me that Jethro had a mountain lion.
I tell you it's true. I sent Jethro to the root cellar, and when he didn't come back, I went to see what was keeping him. And there stood a great big mountain lion licking his chops. He had my baby boy right out from under his hat.
Is the truck gone?
Mountain lions don't eat trucks. They is flesh eaters.
I know that, but I figured if the truck was gone, that might tell us what happened to Jethro.
I told you what happened. He was hit by a mountain lion in the root cellar. Now, you gonna get your gun and shoot him before he eats the rest of the family?
And it's kind of dark in that root cellar. What you seen might not have been a mountain lion at all.
I tell you, I seen him. There's a wild varmint in the root cellar.
We've been out here in Beverly Hills for going on to 8 years now, and the wildest thing we've seen yet is that movie star lives down the street.
Which one?
The one with the long blonde hair, wears them wild clothes and jewelry, walks for the wiggle. You know the fella.
I tell you, there's a mountain lion in my root cellar. Now, are you gonna shoot him or do I have to?
Quick as I have this cereal, I'll take a look.
How can you sit there eating cereal at a time like this?
It ain't easy.
My eyes. Fireman's eating your kinfolks and... Jen,
Now what?
where's Ellie? Maybe the mountain lion ate her too.
I sent Ellie out to get the morning mail. Now, will you sit down and get a hold of yourself?
Here's the mail, Pa. Oh, fine, Ellie. Now, run fetch your pa's gun. He's gonna shoot that mountain lion in the root cellar.
Giant gonna shoot Herman.
Herman?
Well, I got him yesterday at the animal farm. He's my new pet.
Some pet. He ate your cousin Jethro.
Herman wouldn't do that.
Well, he did, and your pa's fixing to shoot him.
Please don't, Pa.
Do what you have to do, kid. Kinfolks comes ahead of varmints.
Giant gonna do it, are you, Pa?
Looks like the only thing I ain't gonna do for sure is eat this cereal.
Oh, well, I'll give it to Herman. He just loves it. Herman, come get your breakfast.
You bring no man-eating beast in here.
He ain't no man-eating beast, Granny. See, he's just as tame as a kitten.
You get that vicious killer out of my kitchen.
Come on, Herman, with this scoop.
You see, Jed? I told you I seen a man-eating beast.
Yep. Now, if you'll fetch me another bowl, you'll see a man eating cereal. Looks like somebody has sent us the latest copy of the Silver Dollar City News.
Who was it?
Don't say. Well, doggy. Guess who's getting married?
Who?
Alverna Bradshaw's daughter.
Big Mouth Bradshaw?
Yep.
Are you telling me that the homeliest girl in the hills has got herself a fella?
Seems that way.
I don't believe it.
Read it for yourself.
Here it is, in black and white.
Yep.
Alverna's daughter is getting married.
Yep.
I don't believe it.
Afraid it's true, Granny.
You realize what this means?
I'm afraid it means I ain't gonna eat this cereal.
We've got to get Ellie Mae married right away.
Why?
Because Big Mouth Bradshaw is 2 days younger than Ellie. And if she gets married before your daughter, you're gonna be disgraced.
No, I won't.
Well, think of Ellie. She'll die of shame.
Oh, I won't bother Ellie.
Think about Jethro. Why, he's a boy with a lot of pride. He's liable to leave home.
Not as long as we got victuals here.
Jed, this is no joking matter. We've got to take Ellie back to the hills and get her married right away. There's no time to lose.
Why the hill?
'Cause that's where the men are the marrying kind.
Could we talk about this after I have my breakfast? I'm powerful hungry.
No, Jed. We've got to settle this matter right now. There's no time to lose.
Well, all right. You go next door and ask Mr. Drysdale, would he keep an eye on the place if we go back?
Good idea.
Granny, how about some bills? Oh, thank you, Uncle Jed.
Where you been, Jethro?
Into college.
Yeah, college, huh? Good for you. How long you been going?
This is my first day. See, I fell in with this here college crowd. They made me realize how much I've been missing.
Do tell.
Oh, yeah. See, even though I graduated 6th grade, there's still more I can learn.
I'm proud of you, boy.
Thanks, Uncle Jim. It's fun, too. Real nice bunch of fellas. And talk about smart.
Any of them fellas unmarried?
All of them, as far as I know.
Well, you reckon you could fetch home one of them college fellas, introduce them to your cousin Ellie?
Fetch home a whole bunch of them. Then you can take her pick.
Well, I'll be just dandy. Well, look at that. Just enough cereal left for one more bowl.
Thank you, Uncle Jed. When you're hungry, ain't nothing like a bowl of cereal.
Ain't nothing like it as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, good morning, Granny.
Morning, Miss Jane. Is Mr. Drysdale at home?
Yes, I'm here to drive him to the bank.
I want to ask him a favor.
Well, you picked a good time. He should be finishing his morning coffee just about now.
Chauncey, Melvin Drysdale here. Yes. What's the gold market doing there in London today? All right, buy me $5 million in bullion. Right. Now listen, Chauncey. Tell Onassis I'm prepared to invest $50 million in that Greek shipping deal. And tell that Dutch oil syndicate I'm ready with the $30 million they need. Right. Get back to me at the office. Okay?
Chief.
Yes, come in.
Excuse me, Chief. Granny's here, and she'd like to ask you a favor.
What is it?
Well, they're going on a trip, and they'd like you to keep an eye on the house and take care of Ellie's critters.
The answer is no. I am a bank president, not a caretaker. An international financier, not a zookeeper. And Granny's going to be told that right now. Go tell her.
Me? Well, why don't you tell her?
Miss Hathaway, I just told you, I am an international financier. I just invested $85 million by long-distance telephone. And I can't afford to argue with those hillbillies.
Why not?
Because it's their $85 million.
Morning, Mr. Drysdale. Did Miss Jane tell you the news?
She's going on a little trip. Palm Springs, Lake Arrowhead.
No, we's going to God's country.
Fort Knox.
No, we's going back home to the hills
What for?
to get Ellie Mae a husband.
Granny, there's plenty of eligible men right here.
Now, don't start that again. You've been yelling suey for the last 7 years, and you ain't got a hog to the trough yet. Now, we'll be leaving as soon as the truck is loaded, so you fetch our money over to us.
All of it?
Well, Ellie has got to have a dowry.
Granny, you don't want to go back to the hills with $85 million.
It's better than nothing.
Now, steady, Chief.
Do you realize if they take their money out of my bank, I'm ruined?
We'll think of a plan. Maybe
There's
we
no time to think or plan. This calls for action. Now.
Chief! What are you going to do?
I'm going to stab all 4 of them.
No!
Let go of me. They're not driving back to the hills.
Chief, come to your senses. You can't use that on the carpets.
I don't intend to. I'm going to puncture the tires on their truck. They'll have to get some out of a catalog. It'll take 3 weeks to get new ones.
Ellie.
Your yard, pal. Brand new box of cereal.
Well, thank you, darling. Now, you run right upstairs and put on your very prettiest dress because Jethro is bringing home a whole bunch of nice young college fellas for you to meet.
Oh, yes, sir, pal.
Jen! Jen! Jen!
Here, Granny.
you still eating cereal?
It looks like it.
Well, make that your last bowl. Then let's get packed and loaded and on the road.
Oh, Granny, we might not have to go back to the hill.
What you mean?
Well, Jethro is fetching over a whole covey of nice young college fellas for Ellie to look over.
Jed, you have been beating these Beverly Hills bushes for 7 years. And what have you got to show for it? A bunch of beat-up bushes and an old maid daughter.
Well, Ellie Mae is still young.
Jed, face up to it. That girl is gonna be 20.
Well, she'll be just as old back in the hills.
Yeah, but back there, that's as old as she can get.
20?
When them hill boys runs out of fingers and toes, they is through counting.
Granny, I think we ought to keep an open mind about this.
Come on, Jed. Let's pack up and get back to the hills.
At least let Ellie meet the boys. She might cotton to one of them.
All right. I've got a completely open mind about it. Of course, let's have Ellie Mae meet the college boys.
Good.
And as quick as she's met them, let's head for the hills.
Get out of here. Come on now.
Your 5th breakfast. What's got into you?
Well, it ain't cereal, that's for sure.
You ain't gonna have room for lunch.
Yes, I am, I swear.
No, I'm gonna give this to Ellie's mountain lion.
Give him this, too. Let him fix his own from now on.
Oh, hi, Jed. Let's home some college boys.
Oh, fine, fine. Take him in the parlor. I'll tell Ellie.
Okay. Y'all come on in.
Wow, this is a groovy place.
All right.
Jethro. These is college students?
Yes, sir. Fetched them right off the campus. Oh, this here's my Uncle Jed.
Howdy.
Hey, man. How are you? Oh. This here is Mitch. He'd been to 12 colleges.
Ah, it's a dandy record. What all did you study?
Study? They don't study. They protest.
Well, what do they protest?
Everything. You name it, they protested. They march up and down in front of the college holding signs.
Well, how about you? Ain't you learning nothing?
Oh, yeah. I'm carrying 3 subjects.
Oh, good, good. What are they?
Down with the dean, down with the faculty, and down with the regents.
You walk around carrying signs, too, huh?
Heck yeah. That's what college is all about.
Well, don't you go inside at all?
Starting tomorrow, I do. They's gonna let me bust down the dean's door and tie him up.
And why are you going to do that?
Because I'm part of the academic revolution. I'm fighting for intellectual freedom. I'm throwing off the shackles of the economic power structure and putting down you corporate entities and conglomerates. I have done solved my identity problem. I know where I'm going and who I am. I'm free to make up my own mind and do my own thing.
And what is that?
They ain't told me yet.
I got a couple of things to tell you.
Jed!
Yeah, Granny?
Is them fine young college students you was bragging on here yet?
Stay where you are. I'll be right there.
Man, is that the chick you were telling me about?
Oh, yeah. That's my cousin Ellie. Hi, Ellie. I'd like you to meet these 3 guys.
2 guys. I'm a girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you want to swing?
Cool.
Okay, let's split.
At last, a meaningful relationship.
Would you like to go to college?
Well, yes, sir, I reckon so.
Come on, if we hurry, we can get there in time for the 12 o'clock cafeteria break.
Really?
Yeah, 12 o'clock, we're gonna break the cafeteria.
Hey, wait for me. I'll help you break it, but let's eat first.
You see? We're too late. They're gone. I told you you're to blame for this.
Calm down. They couldn't possibly have packed and loaded.
Do you see the truck? No, it's gone. Oh, I knew I should have slashed those tires. Why'd you take that knife away from me?
Because you were acting irrationally.
Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, Granny, you're still here.
Put me down, Mr. Drysdale. What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm so happy to see you. I love you.
He was afraid you'd gone back to the hills to find the family beauty a husband.
I ain't looking for no husband. Now put me down. It's Ellie and me we're wanting to find a husband for. Did you fetch over the money?
Money?
Our 85 million. Where is it?
What? You can't withdraw any money today. You see, the bank is closed.
Well, you better come into the kitchen and explain that to Jen.
Chief, the bank is not closed.
If they withdraw 85 million, it will be.
Jen! Not another bowl of cereal.
That's right. Not another bowl of cereal. All right, Herman, come and get it.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, what's this ugly rumor about your going back to the hills?
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it ugly.
And we've taken our money with us.
That's the ugly part.
Why?
Oh, I mean, there's a terrible risk involved. You might be held up and robbed.
You think so?
Well, only this morning, Miss Hathaway disarmed a desperate man right here in this neighborhood.
Really?
Yes. Threw him down, took his knife away from him as he was headed for your house.
Quite true. Terrible man. The moment his weapon was gone, he turned into a sniveling, whimpering cur.
He must be plumb tuckered, Miss Jane. Sit down.
Well, I did work up a bit of an appetite. Do you mind if I have a bowl of cereal?
Help yourself, and lots of luck.
I'll get you a bowl, Miss Jane. I'm glad to see somebody else getting some cereal. Jed has been stuffing himself all morning.
Mr. Clampett, let's sit down and talk this over.
Well, now, I'm pretty well set on going back home, Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, do you want that beautiful, sweet daughter of yours to marry some barefoot, ragged, slovenly, unwashed clod?
No, sir. That's the reason I want to go home. I want to get her away from them college boys.
College boys?
Yes, ma'am. Jethro is going to college, and he fetched home some boys to meet Ellie, but there wasn't a keeper in the bunch.
I didn't think Jethro could qualify for college.
Oh, yeah. He can march and protest with the best of them. Carries them signs higher than anybody.
Mr. Clampett, please stay here. There's no guarantee that you'll find a husband for Ellie back in the hills.
Ah! If Big Mouth Bradshaw can get a man, Ellie can get a dozen of them.
I kind of think we ought to give it a try. There's some mighty fine boys back around Bug Tussle, Silver Dollar City.
And besides, we's lonesome for the hills.
Mighty pretty back there this time of the year. Leaves turning.
Well, you'll come back right away, won't you?
I kind of like to do a little trout fishing with old Jim Owen. He knows where them big rascals hide out.
And you can go hunting and get me a brace of wild turkeys for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving?
The best hunting is right after the first snowfall.
Oh, Jed, let's stay for a white Christmas.
Christmas?
You know, my favorite time of year back home is when the dogwood blooms in the spring.
Spring?
It's hard to beat summer in them cool woods.
Summer? That makes a whole year.
That's right. Time sure flies in the hills.
Yeah, a year would only tease us. Let's just stay there.
Hi, everybody. I'm Paul. I'm a college girl now.
Where have you been?
Been in a protest march out to college.
Don't draft me? Where did you get that?
Well, I didn't have a sign to carry, so I took this away from a fella.
What happened to your pretty dress?
Well, I traded it for these groovy threads that I got at the Campbell Slop Shop.
Slop shop?
I think she means swap shop.
Look again. She was right. Come with me.
Where are we going?
Back home to the hills. You are gonna beat Big Mouth Bradshaw to the altar.
Hey, soul cousin. Did Ellie tell you about the raid on the college cafeteria? Wiped them out. Ain't got a bit of food left.
Well, it sounds like a mob. How many were there?
Just me. Uncle Jed, baby, that college life is a gas. I mean, that's where it's happening.
Don't sound like you're happening to learn much.
Not true, old-timer. We's learning the 3 R's. Rioting, raiding, and ransacking. Poor old cat just don't dig. He's so far out, it's pitiful. I mean, come on, Dad. Like, get with it. Swing a little, Pops. Lay some skin on me.
You know, I might just do that.
Bless his sweet old heart. He marches to a different drummer. I ain't blaming you old folks. It's the generation gap. But I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm tuned in, turned on, and toned up.
Well, tune out, turn off, and pack up. We're going home.
Is he kidding? I ain't going back to the hills. I'm a college man.
Well, don't they have schools?
Yeah, but back there, they make you come inside and study. I'm gonna stay right here where I got intellectual freedom.
You're absolutely right, Jethro. You don't want to be a college dropout.
I sure don't. College is fun. There's lots of fellas and lots of girls. And quick as I can learn to tell them apart, it's gonna be a lot more fun.
Oh, there you are, boy. Let's get these bags on the truck.
There, now you hurry and pack whilst I put up some lunch for the road.
I ain't going, Granny.
What did you say?
I ain't going back to the hills. I want to stay right here and pursue my education.
Well, gee whiz, Jethro. If you don't drive the truck, they can't none of us go.
What's this? Not going back to the hills? Oh, what a shame. Miss Hardaway, let's give the Clampets a hand. Get these bags upstairs and unpacked.
Jethro, you giving this any thought?
Yes, sir. Talked the whole thing over with Mr. Drysdale. I'm gonna be a college graduate, just like him, and hold down a white-collar job.
Is that so?
Yes, sir. I don't aim to work with my hands, plowing fields and busting stumps. I'm gonna use my head.
You go along with us, do you, Mr. Drysdale?
Mr. Clampett, honesty demands that I reply in the affirmative. This fine boy has a great potential. I'm proud of him. I believe in him. Oh, I only wish I had a boy just like him.
You got him.
What?
We're gonna leave this fine boy, his great potential, with you. Miss Jane, could you drive us to the airport and get us on a plane to home?
Yes, I guess
Come on,
so.
Granny, Ellie Mae, let's go.
Stop! Just a minute! I didn't mean anything. Mr. Drysdale, let him go. Or can I call you Dad?
Nuts.
Okay. Come on, Nuts. You can fix victuals for me and the critters whilst we talk about my great potential.
Be sure to join us next week when the Clampets arrive in the hills and Granny tangles with Elverna Bradshaw.
Are you gonna come down here, or do I have to come up and get you, you sniveling polecat?
That did it, Granny. Go get her.
Okay, busted foot Bradshaw, here I come.
She's crazy! She'll kill me!
All right, get it, Ghostface!
Oh, yes, sir, Paul. Elmer and me.
Elmer?
Oh, he scurries around inside the cabinets. Dusts 'em. How's it going, Elmer?
Well, handy little critter, ain't he?
Sure is.
That raccoon fur is better than feathers for picking up lynch eggs.
Seems right proud to be happy, too.
Elmer's a dandy little duster.
Well, let's take our dusters outside and shake them.
Yes, sir, Granny.
Then you can take yours upstairs and have them do the dresser drawers in the closet.
Uncle Jed, old Honest Johnny never come back to pick up his $700,000.
Here's that way.
Can I have it as an advance against my allowance?
50 cents a week, that'd take a while to pay back.
I'm young.
You ain't that young. Besides, Honest John needs that money to help fight smog.
You know, I'd like to throw my brain into the fight against smog.
It's a dandy cause. They say what it'll take to whip it is brains and money.
Well, betwixt us, we got it made, ain't we?
I reckon we got a leg up on it.
Elmer and me'll get busy upstairs.
Fine, Ellie. Oh, Jed, that reminds me. Mr. Drysdale called and said he was coming by to pick up this money.
How come?
Well, he said folks hadn't ought to keep $700,000 in cash around the house. He's got the hives from worrying about it.
I'm sorry about the hives, but I promised this money to Honest John to fight smog.
I'm thinking about jumping into the fight against smog, too, Granny.
Well, Mr. Drysdale said that this money belongs back in the vault at his bank, and he's coming by to pick it up.
I don't think I can let him have it. Promise is a promise.
I'm gonna fight smog, Granny.
Well, I told Mr. Drysdale that you might not let him have it, but he says he's coming by to pick it up. So that's betwixt you and him.
Granny, I'm gonna fight smog.
How?
Well, I don't know, but Uncle Jed says it takes brains and money. Betwixt us, we's all set.
You got money, have you?
No, I'm supplying the brains. Sitting up here betwixt these sideburns is a real brute.
The only brute you have sits here at the end of your gullet.
I think we ought to encourage your boy, Granny.
He don't know smog from applesauce.
I do so. I listen to the reports all the time. Why, today we's having light eye irritation. But that don't worry me, because I got dark eye.
That's a great partner you got there, Jed. Oh.
All right, guard. Go in there and get that money, and don't take no for an answer.
You forced me to wear this uniform to save paying a guard, but it won't work. Mr. Clampett will recognize me.
I thought of that. So just wear this disguise. There we go. Looks great. Now get the money.
Oh, but suppose Mr. Clampett won't let me take it.
Well, you've got a gun. Use it.
Oh, gee.
Oh, I don't need to shoot him. Just fire a couple of shots over his head to show him you mean business.
I will not. If you want that money, go and get it yourself.
A fine guard you are. Why, you're a disgrace to that uniform.
Mr. Drysdale, I thought I heard somebody.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, this guard is here to pick up that $700,000.
Well, I don't think I can let him have it.
Well, whatever you do, don't cross him. He's armed. He's a mad dog killer.
Is that a fact? Are you a mad dog killer, Miss Jane?
Of course not.
Miss Hathaway, what are you doing in that uniform?
Oh, boy.
If this is your idea of a practical joke, I, for one, do not appreciate it. Or can I imagine Mr. Clampett is amused either?
Now,
I'll see that she's punished, Mr. Clampett. And I think the proper punishment would be to make her carry out that heavy bag of money. Go get it.
Now, hold on. She ain't toting out that money.
Oh, well, if you want to forgive her so easily, but keep an eye on her. Any woman who'll dress up like that is watching. Hello, Jethro.
Hi, Mr. Drysdale.
Hey, get up. I need this money.
Uncle Jed don't want you to have it, so I'm gonna sit here till I think of a way to get rid of the smog.
Jethro, that is a problem for a genius to solve.
Thank you. I'm working on it.
Why don't you go out to the kitchen and eat something?
Vowed I wouldn't eat till I figured out a way to whip the smog.
Well, go get a stick and hit it.
You ain't being no help.
Well, neither are you. Get up.
Not till I think of an idea.
Jethro, get off the money. Here's an armed guard. He'll shoot you.
Hey, mister, you look like your secretary, Miss Jane.
I am Miss Jane.
What are you doing wearing that outfit?
It was dark when she dressed this morning. Now get off the money.
See, Mr. Clampett is not going to let you take this money.
Okay, then you take it. Come on, get up.
Get it. We might just as well go back to the office.
Hey, Miss Jane, before you go, just sit down and help me think of an idea on how to get rid of smog.
Jethro, dear boy, the finest minds in the country are working on that problem.
Well, yeah, but I ain't getting nowhere.
Don't sit there wasting time with that idiot.
Hey, now, hold on. Just because she's dressed funny don't make her an idiot.
Get up from there, both of you.
Mr. Drysdale, it's hard to think of brilliant ideas with folks yelling at you.
Yeah.
Where does Granny keep her shotgun?
Sure hope I can whip that smog problem before I starve to death.
Jethro, I'm afraid that problem won't be solved until someone invents a replacement for the internal combustion engine.
I'll do it. I'm on it. Hey, what's internal combustion engine?
Well, that's the engine that powers the average automobile. The hope is to convert to steam or electricity.
Hey, Mr. Drysdale, what should I put my giant brain to work on first? A A steam car or electric car?
Why not a gas turbine?
Oh, I ain't gonna mess with hats. Just cars.
Swell.
Mr. Drysdale, I done told you this money is staying here. Mr. Drysdale, get off of my money. It's my money. No, it ain't. It's mine.
Was my sack.
All right, I'll dump the money out, and you can have the sack.
Good. Just dump it in that truck out front.
It's staying here.
But it's not safe here.
Well, it was till you showed up.
What? No, it's going back into my vault.
No, it ain't.
Oh, Chief.
Don't stand there, Hathaway. Use your gun.
That is an excellent idea. Stand back, Mr. Clampett. I should hate to hit you.
You traitor!
Mr. Drysdale, get a hold of yourself. I done promised this money to a fella's going to get rid of all the smog.
Not Jethro.
No. This fella's going to drill a tunnel through the San Bernardino Mountains, put in a great big fan, and draw all the smog out of Los Angeles.
That's a preposterous idea.
Yeah, we like it too.
Mr. Clampett, the problem of smog is too big to be handled locally. It has to be solved on a national level.
Is that a fact?
Only the president can get together the brain power and the vast amount of money necessary. Why, this $700,000 isn't even a drop in the bucket.
Well, how much does the president need?
Oh, millions, billions. Oh, I'll just take this chicken feed back to the bank.
I'll study on it, Mr. Drysdale.
No, give up, Chief. Go.
Hold it, Hathaway. I'm not through with you.
What now?
You are guilty of conduct unbecoming an employee of the Commerce Bank.
Oh, big deal.
For cowardice in the face of action. For failure to obey a direct order. Thorough treachery and insubordination. You are hereby dishonorably discharged as a guard and reduced to the rank of secretary.
Hallelujah.
Don't expect a Christmas bonus this year.
I have never had a Christmas bonus.
Well, don't expect one this year either. Now get the truck.
Ellie Mae, have you seen anything of Jethro?
No, ma'am.
That boy is never around when you...
What in the world is that?
Sounds like a train coming up the driveway.
You reckon somebody laid tracks?
Well, if it's a train, I hope they laid tracks. Boy, what have you done to that truck?
Looks like a boob has set it on fire.
Jethro, what'd you do?
Done converted this rascal to steam. You are looking at the answer to air pollution by automobiles. The Jethro Bodine steam car. I have done perfected a clean engine.
I'm going back inside.
Let's all do that for this clean engine chokes us to death.
Uncle Jet, Honest John ain't gonna need his money no more now that I whipped the smog problem. So I use it to mass produce my steam car.
Hold on, boy. According to Mr. Drysdale, only the president himself can handle the smog problem.
The President of the United States?
That's right. He's the only one that can bring together the brains and the money.
Well, here stands the whole kit and caboodle. I'll hop on my steam car, drive to Washington, pull up in front of the White House, and give him the brains and the money, all in one package.
Hold on, boy. What you got there is just a drop in the bucket.
And it ain't likely enough money either.
Talking about the money, Granny. Mr. Drysdale says the president's liable to need millions, even billions. I was thinking of giving him all my money.
Okay, I'll stop by the bank and get the rest of it.
Well, Pop, if Jethro goes to Washington, I want to go too.
And they ain't going without me.
I was just coming to that. I think it'd be a fine trip for the whole family.
I best go leave a note for the milkman. Tell him he's going to Washington.
And since you have failed to make your final payment promptly, we are forced to repossess your automobile. Sincerely, your friendly banker, Milburn Drysdale.
Chief, you're telling your own brother you're repossessing his car?
Oh, that is a little cold, isn't it? P.S. Regards to Betty and the babies. Yes, who is it?
It's me, Mr. Drysdale. I fetched you back your sack of chicken feed.
Oh, bless you, bless you.
Right happy to get it, ain't he?
No chicken could be happier.
I studied on what you said about letting the president fight the small.
Wonderful.
The cashier tells me that counting this, I got right at $95 million in your bank now.
Wonderful.
So he's going to take it to Washington and give it to the president.
Wonderful.
What did you say, Chief?
What'd you say, Mr. Clampett?
I said we're going to take the $95 million to Washington and give it to the president to fight smog.
Mr. Clampett, you can't give all your money to the president.
Why not?
Well, because it... Miss Hathaway, tell them why not.
Why not?
Not that way. Explain it.
Mr. Clampett, it is your money. You may do with it as you wish.
Who asked you to butt in?
You did.
Well, butt out. Now, Mr. Clampett, this will take time. Government red tape, internal revenue, Secret Service, White House clearance. Now, I'll work it out and call you.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you'd hurry, because we'd like to get started.
Right away, right away.
Oh, and you don't have to give us the $95 million in cash. I reckon the president will take a check.
Well, I'll discuss it with him and let you know. Miss Hathaway, you've got to help me. If they take their money out of my bank, I'm ruined. I've got nothing to live for.
Oh, now, Chief.
A suicide note. That will stop them. Here, take this. Mr. Clampett, because you are withdrawing your money, my death is on your hands.
Chief, no.
Now, type that up, pin it to your dress, and throw yourself out the window.
Me?
They love you. This will teach them a great lesson.
Thanks, but... No thanks.
I promise this is the last favor I'll ever ask.
Forget it.
If you're too chicken to throw yourself out the window, I'll do it. All right, come over here. I can't throw you out from there.
You are sick.
I'm sick, and you're walking out on me. Coward, traitor.
What's all the honking for, boy?
I done come up with an invention that beats steam.
Yeah, I see the boiler's going.
Yes, sir. Notice how quiet she is? No noise, no smoke, no smog. She runs on electricity.
Well, doggy, I'm real proud of you, boy.
Pal, the presidents are calling you.
All the way from Washington.
President of the United States is calling me.
Yes, sir, Pa.
They're bringing the old fellow to the phone, Mr. Little.
Isn't he in a straitjacket?
Oh, no, he's not dangerous. He just suffers from the delusion that he's worth $95 million.
No wonder he's in the funny farm.
The whole family.
You know, it's wonderful of you to look after them.
Oh, they're very sweet people. Nutty, but sweet.
Hurry, Dad, don't keep them waiting.
Hey, tell them about my electric car.
Hello? 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 Judge Clampett speaking.
Hello, Mr. Clement. This is the president speaking.
Is that sure enough you, Mr. President?
Oh, yes. Make no mistake about that. I am the president.
That's him, all right.
Now, Mr. Drysdale has told me of your generous and patriotic offer to donate your entire fortune to the fight against air pollution.
Yes, sir. It's only $95 million, but you're sure welcome to it. And we'll bring it right to you, right there in the White House. The whole family.
This here's Granny, Mr. President. I'll bring you some pickle pawpaws and some hand-slung chickens.
Mr. President, this here's Ellie Mae. Would you like a nice little baby possum to play with?
My nephew Jethro ain't here to say howdy, but he's going to drive us all the way to Washington in his brand new invention, the electric car.
No. Don't come to Washington. We've got enough people like you here already. You're public, spirited citizens now.
Well, how will we get the money to you?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that. I want to make this point very clear.
What is the point? I want to make very clear.
Leave your money in the bank. The Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills, where it will draw maximum interest, compounded semi-annually, in the care of your wise and friendly banker, Melvin Drysdale.
Well, naturally, we'll do whatever you say, Mr. President. But the family's going to be awful disappointed. We was hoping to get away to Washington.
Oh, no. Don't try to get away. Just stay right there and do what the nice man in the white coat tells you. Goodbye.
Bye.
What'd you say, Jan?
said he don't want us to come to Washington right now.
Well, what are we supposed to do, Pa?
He says he's going to send a man in a white coat to tell us. Jethro, I just talked to the president, and we won't be driving to Washington in your electric car.
Just as well, Uncle Jed. I never found an extension cord long enough to get us there.
Mr. Little, that was a magnificent performance.
Thank you.
Why, your impersonation of the president was absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
I hope to see you again sometime. Take good care of yourself.
Mr. Drysdale, aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, what's that?
My fee.
Oh, yes. How much is it?
Well, ordinarily I receive $7,500 for a performance. However, in this case, I'll cut it in half. How's $3,750?
$37.50 it is. 20, 40. Now, you owe me $2.50.
No, that's $3,750.
For 5 minutes' work, the president doesn't get that much, and he's the real thing.
Excuse me, Chief. These foreclosures are ready. Aren't you Rich Little, the impressionist?
Yes, I am.
Oh, Mr. Little, I just love your impression of John Wayne.
Huh? Well, thank you very much, ma'am. And let me say that if we had girls like you out on the trail, I never would have given my horse a second look.
Oh, that is marvelous. And your Ed Sullivan is an absolute classic.
Old Ed Sullivan? Wonderful. Would you do me a favor there, youngster? Would you come on our show next Sunday night and bring your stuffed giraffe?
Yes.
I'd love to have you.
What else are you going to have on the show?
World War I with the original cap, in living color, with a surprise ending.
Oh! Isn't he fabulous?
He certainly is. This has been a real pleasure.
Wait a minute, you're forgetting something again.
Oh, yes, your fee. What are you charging her for Wayne and Sullivan?
Oh, nothing.
I'll accept the same arrangement.
Wait.
You dirty rat.
I'll get you for this.
Oh, great. Put that on her tab. What is it, Roy?
I am not Roy. I'm Rich.
Then you don't need my money.
Don't leave no milk for a spell. We is going to Washington, Granny.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to Washington.
Whiz?
That's what the message says. Have a good trip.
Hey, Uncle Jed, we's going to Washington. We just got the message.
What'd you say, boy? We's going to Washington. The fella in the white coat just brought the message from the president.
Well, where is he?
Yonder he goes.
Ain't that the milkman?
Being a milkman is what you call a cover.
Cover?
He's really a secret agent for the government. Likely CIA, FBI, or one of them.
Sure not?
Yeah, I learned all that stuff when I was a double-knot spy.
Well, reckon we best get packing.
Should I convert my electric car back to steam?
No, I think we better fly. When the president sends for you, you don't want to keep him waiting.
Well, if he comes in, will you please ask him to call his office immediately? It's an emergency. Thank you.
How do you like it, Miss Holloway?
Chief, where have you been?
Shopping. Any messages?
Oh, just one, but it's a beauty. The Clapetts are leaving for Washington.
What?
They're determined to give their $95 million to the president.
We've got to stop them. Get Rich Little back.
You're kidding.
Huh? Here's a signed check. He can make it out for any amount he likes. I'll get up to the Clapetts and delay them until he calls. I made it. They're still here. Mr. Claret, Granny, Ellie Mae, Jethro. Where is everybody? Oh, hello, Bessie. Is that for me? How are you?
Dear Mr. Drysdale, please feed the critters till we get back.
Enjoying your flight?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
We's going to Washington to see the president.
We's gonna give him $95 million.
Oh, boy.
You know the president.
Talked to him this morning. I'm fetching him a baby possum.
And I'm taking him a jar of pickled pawpaws and some hand-slung chitlins.
We was going in my electric car, but I couldn't find no 3,000-mile extension cord.
That's very interesting.
Young lady, how high would you say we're flying?
A lot higher than the plane.
Be sure to watch the Beverly Hillbillies next week when they arrive in Washington. And guess who's waiting for them? That's right, Phil Silvers as Shifty Schaefer.
Mr. Schaefer!
Honest John!
Well, bless my soul, if it isn't the Clampets. What brings you to Washington, of all places?
We's here to see the president.
We want to talk to him about the smog problem.
We's gonna help him get rid of the stuff.
What a coincidence. You just appointed me chairman of a very special committee for that purpose.
I'm ready to give him my money if I just knew how.
Another coincidence. Just happens to be the function of my committee.
Hey,
Dog. I try to do my humble bit.
Shall I make out the check to the president?
As a matter of fact, the check should be made payable to my committee.
What's that?
Citizens Against Smog Horror.
Quite a lot to write.
Just use the initials. C-A-S-A.
Fine.
And it doesn't stop there. With his wife posing as the last of the Columbia Indians, Shifty next sells them the White House.
Write the check.
Oh, shall I make it out to Sitting Hawk?
Yes, but include the name bestowed on her by General Custer. That's Courageous Adversary Sitting Hawk.
Well, I don't hardly have room for that.
Just use the initials. That's the custom here in Washington.
Courageous adversary sitting. Oh. Well, what do you know? Comes out just like the other check. C-A-S-H.
Oh, what a coincidence.
Next week on the Beverly Hillbillies.
Here she comes.
Here, Bessie, you give Granny the loving cup.
Hail to the
giant!
What are they hailing you about?
Granny, we's hailing the champ, not the chimp.
That's you, like it says on the cake.
Yeah, grappling Granny.
What is all this nonsense?
Ain't nonsense at all. You up to Boston strong girl, and she was a champion lady wrestler.
So now that makes you the champion lady wrestler.
Give her the loving cup, Bessie.
I don't want no loving cup, and no crown neither. And you take that sign off of my good bathrobe. I ain't no lady wrestler.
The heck you ain't. You throwed the Boston strong girl plumb out of the ring.
Oh, and me watched you on the television.
We proud of you.
I only done that 'cause she was beating up on that poor little Tennessee girl, Rebecca of Donnybrook Farm.
I don't make no never mind. You done it, and that makes you the champ.
That's right.
Sure does.
No, it don't. I'm a peace-loving woman, and I don't want to be tarred with the brush of violence.
Gee whiz, Granny, you...
I don't want to hear no more about it.
But you're famous. Everybody's seen you on the television.
Not another word. I didn't whoop that woman for fame or glory. I did it to right her wrong. And now that it's over, I want to forget it.
Youngins?
And that goes for you, too.
Well, I'm just going to tell the youngins if that's the way you want it, that's the way it's going to be.
That's the way I want it.
Then that's the way it's going to be. All right, youngins, let's get on with our chores.
Oh, Ellie, Did you sure enough see me on television when I whopped the Boston Strong Girl?
You ordered her not to talk about that.
Do you want me to go to prison?
Prison?
The Constitution guarantees her the right to free speech. She could haul me up before the Supreme Court.
I don't reckon Ellie'd do a thing like that.
Of course not. And you're right, Al. Where's your spunk? Remember, you are the granddaughter of the world's champion wrestler.
We both saw you, Granny, and you was something there.
You turned that old Boston Strong Girl every way but loose.
I was there in person when Granny slung her into the 6th row of seats.
You know how I done that, boy? I put the Possum Ridge paralyzer on her, and then I give her the bug tussle bounce.
You was a regular barn burner, champ.
Biggest wrestling I ever seen.
Can you teach me them hole scrapping, Granny?
Sure I can, honey. Come at me, and I'll show you how I want that beast of Boston.
I spent a bundle promoting you as the Beast of Boston. After that fiasco last night, they're gonna start calling you the Massachusetts Milquetoast. Why didn't you and Rebecca do the fight like we rehearsed it? Whose idea was it to run in that little old lady?
Wasn't it yours?
Of course not. I wasn't even in town.
I never saw her before in my life.
Must be Rebecca. Oh, if that little broad changed the script on me or... Send in Rebecca! That's what I get for taking a topless waitress and giving her a chance to become an actress. What's the idea of wearing your Rebecca outfit in the daytime?
Granny invited me over, and she'll be expecting me to look like this.
Granny?
She's the little old lady who threw her out of the ring last night.
So you are the one who put her in the act?
No, she's not a performer.
What?
She's a real little old lady from Tennessee.
Kill those lights. We'll look at this film. If she's for real, you are in big trouble.
Don't tell me that that was a real little old lady from Tennessee. It had to be a stuntman in drag.
No, honest. That was a grandmother.
Okay, back to your tugboat, Annie.
You mean I'm out of show business?
That's right. Cash, come in.
Mr. Booth, the television station just sent these over. They're all about last night's wrestling match, and they've been flooded with phone calls.
Bring back the little old lady and the Boston Strong Girl. Greatest fight ever. How about a rematch? Can book Tennessee Terror and Beast of Boston on Ed Sullivan's show. Guarantee, Phil. Houston Astrodome. Grappling Granny, Strong Girl rematch. All right, you're back in show business. Well, come on. Where can I find this little Granny?
I'm on my way to see her now. She wants to talk to me about the mortgage on Donnybrook Farm.
Don't tell me she believes that story about you wrestling just to pay off the mortgage?
Yeah, she even believes the part about the mean old banker who's gonna foreclose on my sick mama and my crippled daddy.
Hey, I write a pretty good script, huh? Well, come on. Let's not keep the little lady waiting. Call the television station. Tell them that we got Granny and the Boston Strong Girl for a rematch. I want plenty of publicity.
Yes. How do you know she'll fight again?
Are you kidding? Did you get a load of those clothes and the old army shoes? For $20, she'll kill you.
How you doing with my churn, Jed?
Not too good, Granny. Miss Drysdale sure give this thing a whack.
And I'm going over there and give her a whack.
Granny, you whooped her for that yesterday.
And I'll whoop her again. I'll learn her not to fool around with the world's champion wrestler.
Oh, you haven't let this thing give you a swell head.
You think my head is swell? Wait till you see hers. Now, you put me down.
Until you promise not to lay a hand on Miss Drysdale.
All right, I promise not to lay a hand on
Where you going?
I didn't promise nothing about my feet.
Oh, you ain't gonna stomp her neither. Them army shoes of yours is deadly weapons.
Oh, now you put me down.
This time I ain't gonna put you down till you swear you ain't gonna scrap at all.
How about self-defense?
All right, but that don't mean somebody's skinning your knuckles with their jaw.
All right, I swear. You sure do know how to hurt a champion.
Forget about being a champion. Remember, the meek shall inherit the earth.
The shape it's in, who wants it?
You sit right down here until you cool off.
That was my best turn.
Oh, don't worry, I'll make you a brand new one.
Will it be as good as that one?
Of course. The way I look at it, one good churn deserves another. I just thought a little joke might cheer you up.
Well, maybe it would. Do you know one?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Well, let's hear it.
Car coming up the driveway.
That ain't funny neither.
That car.
Howdy there, Granny.
Well, it's little Rebecca of Donnybrook Farm.
Yeah. Rebecca, honey.
Oh, Granny.
This is my son-in-law, Jed Clampett.
Howdy, Miss Rebecca. Pleased to meet you.
Oh, thank you, sir. The pleasure is mine.
Ain't she sweet?
Who's the fellow brung you?
Oh, that's Mr. Gene Booth, a gentleman I'm very beholden to.
Mr. Booth, I'm Jed Clampett.
Oh, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I hope you'll excuse the mess. I was just trying to fix Granny's turn.
You must be the handyman around here.
Well, I do the best I can.
And, Granny's the cook?
Yeah, the dandy, too. I hope you stay for victuals.
Tell me, does she make much of a salary?
No salary at all. Just room and board, same as the rest of us.
Mr. Booth, Rebecca tells me that you're the man who pays them women to get up in that ring and fight.
I only do it for patriotic reasons.
Patriotic reasons?
Exactly. It promotes physical fitness, helps solve the unemployment problem, fights poverty. And it helps a little farmer's daughter like Rebecca here learn a trade and earn an honest dollar. And I can do the same for you, little lady.
What you mean?
If you'll fight the Boston Strong Girl again, I will pay you the sum of, $10.
$10?
Tell you what, to help you buy a new churn, I'll make that 20.
Forget it. The joke teller here is making me a new churn.
Besides, Granny promised me she wouldn't scrap no more.
I'm retiring, undefeated.
Now, Granny, just think. The proceeds from your match would help poor Rebecca pay off the mortgage on Donnybrook Farm.
My mama's sick, and my daddy's crippled.
Kid, I've just come out of retirement.
Oh, you didn't. How much is the mortgage, Rebecca?
Well,
$10,000. That's a 10 and a comma and 3 zeros.
Must have left my money in my other pants.
Oh, sure.
Come on in, I'll write you a check.
Check? A check? Yes, that's a good idea. You do that, yes.
Come on in, set a file.
his check won't be any good.
Oh, yes, it will. When it bounces, Granny goes in the ring, or he goes to jail.
I'm using that house you showed me, Granny. Tennessee toe torture.
Well, let him go. We've got company. Miss Rebecca and Mr. Booth is here.
Howdy.
Howdy. Hey, Granny, will you make Ellie stop whooping me?
You can whip him?
Ellie can whoop anybody, except Jed and me.
Wow. What a family tag team match. Nothing.
Here you are, Miss Rebecca. Now that mean old banker you spoke about can't foreclose the mortgage.
Oh, thank you, sir.
20,000?
Yeah, I sweetened it a mite to help take care of her sick mama and her crippled daddy.
Let's go, Rebecca.
can't you stay for victuals?
Thank you, no, but we have pressing business.
Oh, I cooked up a great big pot of goat tripe.
Sorry. You must have mighty pressing business if that don't keep you.
Yeah. Well, thanks again.
I hope this is goodbye.
Oh, no, we'll be back.
Did you hear that, Jed? They's coming back.
Yeah, Granny. Once you said goat tripe, you had 'em.
Excuse me, Chief. That young lady we saw wrestling on television last night is here. Rebecca of Donnybrook Farm.
You mean that sniveling little creep who shot off her mouth about the mean old banker foreclosing the mortgage?
Yes,
Bob, kick her out of the office. Throw her down the elevator shaft.
Actually, it's her manager who wants to see you. He has a check for $20,000.
Well, show him in. Any friend of Rebecca is a friend of mine.
Come in, please.
Thank you.
Mr. Drysdale, Mr. Gene Booth.
Oh, I'm pleased to meet you, sir. And you don't have to tell me who this is. It's my little sweetheart of the ring, Rebecca of Donnybrook Farm. Oh, such a pretty little thing.
Thank you, sir.
But you know, darling, you mustn't say that bankers are mean. Oh, no, we are sweet and kind, gentle, generous, a friend to rich and poor alike.
You know, I'm glad to hear you say that, because a poor handyman just gave me a bum check on your bank for $20,000.
I'll kill him! I'll put him in prison for the rest of his life!
Now, I don't want him in prison. I just want to force his family to fight in a tag team match. And if you can confirm that this is a bad check, I can do it.
J.D. Clampett, why did he give you this check?
He thinks he's paying off the mortgage on Donnybrook Farm.
And helping my sick mama and my crippled daddy.
Well, that check is good.
Not anymore.
Hey, you can't do that! Now who am I going to get to fight?
Get her sick mommy and crippled daddy.
Fine, you dirty crook!
You come out in the hall and call me that, and you'll get your teeth kicked in.
Okay, let's go!
Gee, please, he's a powerful-looking man.
Now, don't be frightened. Just get out there and kick his teeth in.
Please.
Yes, I'm going to take care of the mean one. All right now, blabbermouth. You're going to get yours.
Vicious kids today. Man isn't safe in his own office.
Hey, LMA! Hey, cut it out! Leave me be! Hey, Uncle Jed, make LMA stop wrestling me down. Let go!
Ellie you get up from there.
Oh, well, this here's a new hoe Granny learned me. It's called a gizzard grinder.
You won't stop this wrestling. I'm going to learn you something called the britches duster.
Oh, I want a commotion in here.
Well, he's wrestling with Jethro again.
Well, I was just trying out your gizzard grinder.
That's not supposed to be used on somebody that's just at a company dinner of goat tripe.
Is there any left, Granny?
You got room for more?
She just made room.
Oh, help yourself.
Hey, Ellie, come with us. I want to show Granny her new churn.
Okay, come on, Jerry. Don't do that, you nut. You're supposed to be Rebecca's crippled father.
And remember, Mama, you're sick.
Well, look who's here.
Little Rebecca's come back.
Folks, I'd like you to meet my mama from Tennessee.
Howdy, ma'am.
Pleased to meet you. How are you, honey?
Oh, well, she don't say much. She's got to save her strength for coughing. And this here's my daddy.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, sir. Maybe you best hang on to your cane. I'm Jed Clampett. This is my daughter, Ellie.
Howdy.
And this here is Granny.
I declare they's in awful bad shape for Tennessee folk.
Yeah. How'd your daddy get so crippled up?
Well, he...
He fell off old Smokey.
Oh. Well, y'all come in. Sit down.
Let me help you down the steps.
Leave him be, Mr. Booth. Daddy's proud.
Proud as a dog with two tails.
Good thing he's got a spare. I think he just busted one. Sit down and rest a while, old-timer. I'll fetch you in some horse-mint tea.
Oh, no, we can't stay, Granny. We just dropped by so you could show Rebecca's folks some of your wrestling holes.
Wrestling holes?
Yes. Mom and Daddy and I gotta wrestle the Boston Strong Girl and her folks.
How come?
We need the money to pay off the mortgage on Donnybrook Farm.
I'll give you money for that and more to boot.
Oh, I meant to tell you about that. Rebecca's folks wouldn't let her cash the check. They're too proud. Except charity.
True sons and daughters of Tennessee.
Well, that's fine, but they ain't in no shape to wrestle. They're too old to fight and too weak to run.
They insist on it.
We've been challenged.
It's an affair of honor.
Feud.
Hey?
We's talking about the feud?
I ain't hungry.
The feud! You know, with the Boston Strong Girl, and her father, the weightlifter, and her mother, the blacksmith.
Oh, we can't let these poor folks fight them big brutes. Let's do it, Burl.
Well, now, Ellie, we ain't got no quarrel with... Come in.
I'm the father of the Boston Strong Girl. Where are those sniveling cowards from Tennessee?
There ain't no such thing as a sniveling coward from Tennessee. I'm from Tennessee.
Then you're a sniveling coward.
Stranger, I'm going to have to ask you to take your hand off of Granny.
Granny? So you're the bullet that beat up on my daughter?
Yeah, and I'm going to do the same thing to you. I'll help you, Granny.
Wait a minute. If you're gonna have a family fight, have it at the international arena.
We ain't aiming for no fight, Mr. Booth. Our family ain't been provoked.
You ain't, huh?
How we been provoked?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bill Baldwin speaking to you from ringside at the International Wrestling Arena, where tonight an overflow crowd is waiting to see the tag team match of the century, Grappling Granny and the Clampetts versus the Boston Strong Girl and her family. At any moment now, our gladiators will be making their entrance.
Gee, I don't understand how you can let the Clampetts risk their necks like this.
How could I stop? They claim they're fighting a feud, an affair of honor.
That roar of welcome is for the battlers from Bug Tussle, the Clampett family.
Well, you didn't have to encourage them by buying them new robes.
We bankers are notoriously generous.
They come. Notoriously generous. It's too bad there wasn't room for your name.
Wait till Ellie takes off her robe.
Now you can hear the boos and catcalls that always greets the Boston Strong Girl, accompanied tonight by her equally repulsive parents. Our fight promoter, Gene Booth, certainly looks happy. He'll make a mint tonight.
Now, folks, this is a tag team match. Only one of you can be inside the ring at a time. Now, who'd like to start?
Let me be first. I'm the champion.
All right, Granny. Now, if you need any help, you reach to the ropes and tag another member of your team.
This is a tag team match. Only one in the ring at a time.
We're wrestling our rules.
Not while I'm here.
Okay.
Granny, looks like all three of us coming at you.
Want us to jump in there and help?
No, I think they just want to shake hands.
Honey,
is stunned. She's at the mercy of those 3 Boston brutes. This is going to be a slaughter.
Get up, Bernie.
Are you hurt? You need our help?
It's all right, Jed. There's only 3 of them.
She's tripped her father. And now, believe it or not, she's holding him by the ankles and swinging him around like a flail. Granny has knocked a Boston strong girl and her mother out of the ring. There goes the father. The fight is over. Granny has won single-handed. This crowd is going wild.
Really, you embarrass me. Can't we leave now? We have work to do at the office.
Oh, sure. Let's go.
This wasn't in the script.
No, wait a minute. I can explain it. Look!
All right, now, Jethro, tell us exactly what happened with Miss Drysdale.
Well, I come around the side of the house, and I see this here lady fighting with a furry-looking varmint.
Turned out it was Miss Drysdale.
No, Uncle Jed, it was a fox.
Lady was Miss Drysdale.
Oh, yeah. So I grabs up the shotgun, and I says, "Step aside, lady, and I'll shoot it." Well, instead of that, she whipped around and throwed that thing in the air. Well, I shot it on the fly, with both barrels.
Blew my wife's fox fur to shreds.
No wonder she fainted dead away.
I caught her just in time. The chauffeur had to help me get her into the car. She was out like a light.
She was stewed to the gills. You said it took 2 men to get her back in the car.
You know, Jethro, could be that there fox was Miss Drysdale's pet.
Why in tarnation would she want a sneaky old fox for a pet?
'Cause them kind of people are liable to do anything.
What kind of people?
Ask your pa.
Well, I reckon I can't protect you from the ugly side of life forever. You see, Miss Drysdale is what city folks calls what was her husband called it, Granny?
Hypochondriac.
Yeah, that means she drinks a little.
Let's be thankful for one thing, Mr. Drysdale.
What's that?
The tree outside the window. It completely obscures her view of the Clampett estate.
Yes. And if that tree should ever lose its leaves and she gets one look at those hillbillies...
It shall not happen. The Clampetts have agreed to accompany me to Palm Springs.
Fine. Now, you keep them there until I get Margaret back to Boston.
Can do and will do.
Maybe it's for the best that you know about that poor woman next door, Ellie. Now you can pitch in and help us get her cured.
Yep. I'll need you to help find the makings from a sobering up mash. That's what I'll give her first.
But Miss Jane said she was taking us to Palm Springs.
Folks don't run off and leave the neighbors when he's in trouble. What are you going to need for your sobering up mash, Granny?
Well, most of the stuff I got. But it takes pecan root, wretchweed, sourdough, skunk oil, chimney soot, spider webs, horsebeard, snake wort, pepper leaves, chicken gizzards, stump water, coal oil, slippery elm ooze, and turpentine, and a few more things that's secret. Oh, and the biggest toad you can find.
Granny, you use a live toad?
That's just for testing. I give it a swaller to see how far it jumps.
Last time Granny used a sobering up mash, set a new record. Clean over the top of Elverny Bradshaw's clothesline.
That's tall jumping for a toad.
Oh, this wasn't no toad. This was Elverny's husband, Homer. It was him Granny was sobering up. Wellie, if you're going out in the brush hunting stuff for Granny, you'd best put on some old clothes.
Okay, Pop. Well, let's get it going. Oh, I pert near forgot. I have to have some goat's milk. After Mrs. Drysdale takes my sobering up mash, she has to have fresh goat's milk every half hour to stop the burning.
Well, I reckon Jethro can borrow some. well-to-do neighborhood like this, folks is bound to keep goats.
Everybody except us. We ain't even got a cow.
Nor pigs neither.
Nor chickens.
We ain't even got nothing to pull a plow.
You're supposed to be so dad blame rich. I'll bet we're the only family in Beverly Hills that ain't got a mule.
I reckon it is high time I was stocking this place. Even Mr. Drysdale's been after me to buy some cattle.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, just the other day he says to me, Mr. Clampett, you got $25 million in cash. You ought to put some of that money into stock.
Well, we better get busy now if we're going to find...
There goes that music again. Jethro, did you ever find out where that's coming from?
No, sir, I didn't. Every time I went to looking for it, somebody always come to the door. This time I'm gonna find it for sure.
Yeah, good hunting. Me and Granny will be figuring out what stock to buy.
Doggone it, never failed. Howdy, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, please stop calling me Miss Hathaway. Now, if I can call you by your first name, Jethro, surely you can do the same for me.
But,
Please?
well, howdy, Miss Jethro.
How about calling me Jane?
I like that better.
Well, are we all set to leave for Palm Springs?
No, ma'am. Uncle Jed and me's going to town and buy some stock.
Stock?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Drysdale, he told Uncle Jed he had ought to put some of his money into stock.
He dictated a memo on that. But you needn't waste time driving into town. You can order your stock by telephone. Now, here are Mr. Drysdale's recommendations. He doesn't want your Uncle Jed to get a bum steer.
Oh, Uncle Jed, he wouldn't buy no bum steer.
They should be cautious in the bull market.
You gotta be careful with cows, too.
I don't need this list nohow. Me and Granny's already figured out what we want.
That's right. A pair of goats, 3 pigs, 4 cows, a bull, a mule, and a dozen chickens.
Reckon we get all that on the truck?
Don't have to. Miss Hathaway says just call on the telephone and they bring them out.
Oh, now, ain't that nice? Hello?
Jed, I watched that banker feller. You have to stick your finger in them holes and spin her a while.
All right. Reckon that ought to do it.
Operator.
Oh, howdy, ma'am. This here is Jed Clampett. I'd like to buy some stock.
What number do you wish?
Number? Oh, a couple of goats, 3 pigs, 4 cows, a bull, a mule, and a dozen chickens.
I'll give you information.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate all the information you can give me. It's the first time I ever bought stock on the telephone.
Perhaps I'd better connect you with the supervisor.
2 heads is better than 1.
Supervisor speaking. May I help you?
Well, thank you, ma'am. This here is Jed Clampett. I'd like to buy some stock.
Do you know the number you wish to reach?
Well, that's more or less up to the animals. But the number I want to start with is a couple of goats, 3 pigs, 4 cows, a bull, a mule, and a dozen chickens.
It sure is a dandy pin, Jethro. As soon as Ellie gets back from the Drysdale, she can milk this here goat.
Mr. Drysdale sure has got a nice house, ain't he, Granny?
Yep. Nice house, nice car, nice job. But the evil of drink has sure laid a heavy hand on his heart. Never forget, Ellie, drinking is a curse.
Do you take a drink now and then, Granny?
Never more than a thimbleful. Oh, Ellie, you might have to hold Mrs. Drysdale while I spoon my sobering up mash down her.
I'll throw a double scissors and an arm lock on her.
Just so you don't cut off her wind if she can't breathe.
Yes?
Howdy. We've come to see Miss Drysdale.
I'm sorry, madam, but Mrs. Drysdale cannot be disturbed.
Are you her kin?
I'm a butler.
Oh, that must have been her maiden name. You are taking care of her, are you?
I am a butler, madam.
Well, I'm glad to see that her family ain't ashamed to help her.
Whom shall I say call?
Well, this here's Granny, and I'm Ellie Mae. Paul and Jethro would have come too, but they're busy with the cattle.
Very good.
Hold on now. We've come to see Miss Drysdale.
Mrs. Drysdale is indisposed, madam. She is not receiving.
Oh, still sleeping it off, huh? Well, when she comes to, you just spoon half of this down her and then stand back.
Yeah, she'll commence to doing some tall jumping.
Don't bite you. We'll be back later with the goat's milk.
Want me to stay and help you do for Miss Drysdale?
We are managing, thank you.
Are you doing the washing and the cleaning and the cooking for her?
Certainly not.
Oh, just letting it pile up on her, huh?
I am a butler.
Want me to haul him out of there and wrestle him down?
Kin folks have certain rights. Family comes first.
He sure is proud of that family name, ain't he?
Yeah. To hear him talk, the butlers don't get wet when it rains.
Did you say something, dear? Well, speak up, dear. Can we get you something? Come in.
I beg your pardon, sir. The butler said some people from a ranch brought this for Madame.
From a ranch?
Well, he said they mentioned cattle. They called themselves Granny and Ellie Mae.
The Clampetts. They haven't gone to Palm Springs.
Come on, Jethro. Get him in through that gate. That's the way.
Suey, 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 pig, pig.
Ah! Get in there.
Ah, get in there, pig. Get in, pig. Come on. Pig, pig, pig.
That's the way.
Suey.
No, surely not. Marie, tell me I'm hearing things.
You're hearing things, sir. Cows, chickens, pigs, goats.
No.
Anything I can do, sir?
Pray, Marie. Pray.
Yes, sir, Mr. Drysdale. I finally took your advice and put some of my money into stock. How's that goat milk, Ellie?
Just fine, Pa.
He sure is a dandy pen, Mr. Drysdale.
Yeah, good stout fence around outside. Of course, that one across the middle ain't so much. The bulls already jumped it twice and ain't even mating season. Got ourselves some mighty fine-looking stock. Of course, they need a little fattening up.
Mr. Drysdale happy to see him?
Granny, he was so happy he couldn't talk. He just kind of hung on a fence and made little gurgling noises in his throat.
Well, that poor man has some joy coming to him.
I'm glad to be able to help him to forget his trouble for a spell.
Here's the goat's milk, Granny.
Oh, good, Ellie. Now, you run that right over to Mrs. Drysdale. That sobering up mash smarts considerable unless you follow it up with fresh goat's milk.
Ellie, Mr. Drysdale ever find his tongue?
Yeah, Pa. Whilst I was milking the goat, I heard him kind of mumbling like he was giving thanks. He says, "Oh, what have I done to deserve this?"
Lord love him. Ain't that pitiful? Oh, hurry, child, now hurry.
You know, Granny, it gives a person a mighty good feeling to help a neighbor.
You betcha. And he needs us, because his wife's kin ain't no help.
Who's that?
That high and mighty Mr. Butler. That's who came to the door when Ellie and me took the mash over. Wouldn't let us see Miss Drysdale.
Well, now, you can't hardly blame him for not wanting folks to see it.
Uncle Jed, the bull jumped that little fence again, so I tied him back over on his side.
Where's Mr. Drysdale? I asked him to come in for some coffee.
It was the funniest thing would happen to him. You know how he was hanging on the fence of the stock pen, kind of gurgling and mumbling happy-like?
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, he points up towards his house and says, "My wife, that's her window." Then he goes tearing off into the bushes like a bear was after him.
She took some mash and he seen her jumping.
Right, Ellie, he's gonna get there with the goat's milk just in time.
Oh, Sonny, Sonny, your mumsy just had the most ghastly dream. I was going to see our new neighbors, the Clampetts, and suddenly this dreadful giant appeared with a huge gun and shot my beautiful fox fur. Isn't that the most dreadful... Claude, what are you eating?
Ah, did Ravenswood bring my darling boy some nice fishy scraps?
Claude. Claude! Marie, come and get Claude.
What's the matter, dear?
Claude, he's having a seizure or something.
Is something wrong?
Yes, Marie. Open the window.
Yes, let's have some fresh air. No. You take Claude to the doctor. I'll get the window. Well, darling, how do you feel?
Dreadful. My nerves are shattered. Open the window, dear.
Well, it might not be good for you, Margaret.
Oh, don't be silly, Milburn. I need oxygen. Besides, I adore the fragrance of that jasmine that grows on the fence of that tennis court next door. Now, open the window.
All right, dear, but first I have a surprise.
Surprise?
Don't move. I'll be right back.
Granny, that there butler fellow wouldn't let me through that door again. And he wouldn't take this milk, neither.
Why not?
He said he wouldn't touch nothing more from us without it was sterilized.
What's sterilized?
Oh, we had that in school once. That means soaked in alcohol.
Alcohol?
Appears to me like Mr. Drysdale's got two drinkers on his hand.
Mrs. Drysdale must be in terrible shape. Fighting mean. Scratching and clawing people and everything.
How do you know?
I heard her yelling and screaming clean from upstairs. She says, Marie, come and get Claude. Sure enough, pretty soon, this poor girl come a-running down yelling. Take me to the doctor. I got Claude.
Family or no family, that woman needs help, and by thunder, she's gonna get it.
Surprise! Surprise!
Milburn, have you taken leave of your senses? You know I'm much too nervous to watch television.
But, darling, the doctors in Boston said your nerves were just fine.
Those Boston doctors. They had the audacity to tell me that I was perfectly healthy. I said, I'm not paying you all that money to tell me I'm healthy. Milburn, I do not want to watch television.
Well, you don't have to watch it, dear. Just listen. There's an exciting Western on.
Western? Milburn, shut that off and open the window.
I will. Oh, there we are.
Milburn, are you going to open the window or am I?
I am, dear. There, you see, the cattlemen and the sheepmen are fighting now.
Well, if you won't turn it off, I will.
Oh, dear, I do admit that's a very old plot, but I'm sure we can get something better. That's the window he pointed to right there.
I've got to get some fresh goat's milk up to that woman some way.
I could shinny up the tree and climb right in that window.
Oh, Jethro, it ain't fitting for a man to be in a woman's bedroom.
How about me? No, Ellie. You're too young to handle somebody wrestling in the grip of old John Barleycorn. I gotta get up there and have a goat handy to milk ever so often.
I think I got it figured out, Granny. I'll get a rope, throw it over that limb, hoist you up to the window. Jethro, you get that Mr. Butler away from the front door. Then, Ellie, you take the nanny goat, lead it upstairs to her room for Granny.
All right, Paul. But that little goat ain't gonna do nothing unless it's got that little chicken sitting on his back.
That's all right. Raw egg ain't gonna do Mrs. Drysdale a bit of harm.
Margaret, what are you doing?
Packing. I'm leaving immediately.
Oh, don't leave me. I love you.
I love you too, Milburn. Why don't you come to Boston with me? You haven't seen Sonny for a long time.
I don't understand. Why have you suddenly decided to go back to Boston?
To see those doctors. Let them dare to tell me now I don't have a nervous condition. I'm even having hallucinations. It's wonderful.
Hallucinations?
I just saw a witch fly by that window, and there's a goat in the bathtub with a chicken riding on its back. Oh, you couldn't see them, dear. Only someone with my shattered nervous system. There goes the witch again. Oh, Milburn, I'm the happiest woman in the world. It's marvelous. Wait until those doctors hear this.
Can't get in the attic and she won't open the window. Ice me up again.
Here, Milburn. Let's have a vitamin toast to my coming triumph.
It's too late, Jed.
What do you mean, Granny?
We didn't...
Good morning, Chief. What's this I hear about the Children's Zoo returning your gift?
Yeah, how about that? A baby hippopotamus worth thousands of dollars, and they sent it back.
Well, I don't understand.
Neither do I. You try to do something nice for the kids, give them some pleasure, a little advice.
Advice?
Well, I didn't give them just a plain hippo. I gave them a hippo with a message.
Chief, how could you?
Now, what's wrong with that? Kids don't read enough these days.
But to turn a baby hippopotamus into a signboard.
Oh, it's only water paint it washes right off. That way, I can change the message every few days.
Uncle Milby?
Well, Milburn Drysdale is kind of cold and formal. Uncle Milby's more the real me. Warm, generous, fun-loving.
Save your pennies in a pig or save them in a cup, but bring them to the Commerce Bank or I will eat you up.
Kids love rhyme.
Oh, but Chief, that's terrible.
Well, maybe I can think of something better.
No, I mean, the whole idea is thoroughly reprehensible.
What are you talking about? I'm entitled to get something for my money.
What money? You got this animal by foreclosing on a stranded circus.
Well, what's the difference? A kid would have loved him. 1 week, we could have painted nursery rhymes on him, like, Pussycat, pussycat, where have you went?
Your telephone's ringing.
Oh, keep thinking of some others. Maybe the zoo director will change his mind.
Don't you worry, little hippo. I'll wash this right off.
Now, Jethro, I don't want any more arguments. I want a chicken pen, and I want it right up against Miss Drysdale's head.
Well, Miss Drysdale ain't gonna like it.
What she don't like, she can lump.
If I put the pen up against the hedge, some of the chickens will slip through and go to scratching up Miss Drysdale's flowers.
You think so?
Is you trying to provoke a scrap with Miss Drysdale?
Why, Jethro, she's my next-door neighbor. My dear friend. A lovely lady.
Hey, there's a real funny-looking critter next door.
Oh, out in the yard, is she?
I can't see too good, but it's big and fat and ugly and got a mouth like a gator.
That's my dear friend, all right.
Here, Granny, you look.
Complains when I tries to raise chickens in the back?
Miss Drysdale.
And who is it squawks when I tries to raise a cow?
Miss Drysdale.
And who is it screams to a high heaven when I try to run a goat or a sheep?
Granny, what are you getting at?
I'm getting at this. That spiteful woman has turned her backyard into a hog lot. A hog lot?
Granny, Miss Drysdale wouldn't touch a hog with a 10-foot pole.
She's got one now that she better not try to touch without a 10-foot pole. What you mean? We raised us some big porkers back home in the hills. But this hog makes a razorback look like a ground squirrel. Come on, here. Come on. Is that a hog? hog, or is that a hog?
That's a hog.
Biggest thing I ever did see.
When you yell suey at that rascal, you better not stand twixt him and a trough.
You know something? I don't think that's a big hog at all.
Shh. Don't mean mouth him, Ellie. I'd hate to get that hog riled.
I mean, he's something else.
Just better.
I wonder where Miss Drysdale got to hold him.
Ellie, run around the back door and ask her.
Granny, I think this critter come from Africa.
That must be someplace in Virginia.
Virginia?
Yeah, they raise awful big hogs there. Feed them on peanuts.
Well, there's a goober grabber if I ever seen one.
Child, why, that rascal is good for 300 yards of chitlins alone.
And would you look at them jowls?
Take a tub of turnip greens just to season them.
We gonna butcher him, Uncle Jed?
Well, he ain't ours to butcher, Jethro.
Oh, how I wish he was.
Well, I'm telling you, that critter ain't no butchering hog.
And I'm telling you, you're dead. That animal is standing on a pair of 200-pound hams.
And that bacon would fill a smokehouse.
Look at the size of them pig knuckles.
But listen, Ellie, you run ask Miss Drysdale where she got him, like I told you.
And while you're at it, ask her, could we buy him off her?
But, Pa...
Ellie may do as you're told, time is a-wasting.
Uncle Jed, if you buy that rascal, he's gonna be eating high on the hog, sure enough.
High, low, and in between.
First thing I'm gonna do is send one of them hams to Lee Summit, Missouri. That Willie Marr thinks she can cure a big ham.
Granny, can't you just send her a picture? Why, you'd be giving away 1,000 ham sandwiches.
No, Jethro. Missouri is the show-me state. They gotta see it to believe it.
They could see this and still not believe it.
Granny, the maid says Miss Drysdale's back in Boston.
Do tell. What about the mister?
Well, he's down to the bank. Ain't nobody home but the maid, and she don't know nothing about this critter.
Well, nobody's home, huh? Jethro, instead of a chicken pen, you make me a hog pen. Ellie Mae, you...
Hog pen? Granny, you ain't fixing to bring this critter home.
Well, somebody's got to look after him, Jed. He's wasting away to skin and bones.
You leave him right there till I talk to Mr. Drysdale.
Well, suppose he don't want to sell him.
Well, then that's our tough luck. Come on, everybody.
Giddy up, come on.
Granny, I said leave that hog here.
Jed, I'm doing everything I can to keep him here. I'm even sitting on him.
I just spoke with the director of the Children's Zoo. He absolutely will not permit bank commercials on his animals.
Then I say no more zoo commercials on our money.
Zoo commercials?
Yes, did you ever hear of the buffalo nickel? What about the eagle on the quarter?
Chief, you are sick.
You bet I am. Here's a great chance to educate our little tots. Will you tell them my nursery rhyme, my dear?
Yes, and he doesn't consider a pussycat, pussycat, where have you went as educational.
Well, what about the second line? To the Commerce Bank for 5%. That's the educational part.
Give up.
I will not. I've got some brilliant stuff here. Listen to this. Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. Got a loan from Uncle Milby, now they always happy will be. Here's another one. Tom, the pauper's son.
That's the piper's son.
This kid is a pauper's son. So this old man borrows money from the Commerce Bank and strikes it rich. Oh, now, wait, here's a good one right here. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, figuring her interest rate. Along came a spider and sat down beside her and said, hey, this Commerce Bank is great. Wait. That may be the zoo director with a change of heart. Melvin Drysdale speaking. Oh, hello, Mr. Clafford. What can I do for you?
Why, Granny has just got a powerful hankering for that big fat hog of yours.
Well, I'm sorry, but she's in Boston for a week.
Don't tell him I'm hankering for it. That ain't no way to make a deal. I see somebody stuck there with a sick hog.
Sick hog?
Oh, he's in bad shape, Mr. Drysdale. His bristles have all fell out, and his tail has come on kink. Oh, I grant you he looks big and fat. But that's 'cause he's a windsucker. All blow. Take my word for it, Mr. Drysdale. That hog is dying of the epizootic.
Oh, Granny, you must mean...
From you, just for the hide and the tallow.
Mr. Drysdale, I hope you'll forgive Granny for trying to shuck you out of your hog. We'll call you back. Bye. Granny, I am plumb ashamed of you.
What do you mean? It's always open season on drummers and city slickers.
Not when they're your next-door neighbors. You have done hurt Mr. Drysdale to the quick. I'll bet you he's fit to bust down and cry.
Granny's dying to buy that hippo. She thinks it's a big hog.
Chief, whether it's a hog or a hippo, she won't be allowed to keep it.
Oh, I know that. Eventually, she'll have to give it to the zoo, the children's zoo. And there'll be a little inspirational message on him for the kiddies. Where are you going?
Sick leave.
You're not sick.
If I don't leave, I will be.
Come out of here, doggone you.
What you doing, Granny?
Oh, hi, Jed.
Hi, what you doing?
Trying to get my rope out of the Drysdale's yard. Must have snagged on something like a root or a stump.
Or a hog.
A hog? Why, yeah. I'll bet you that's what happened. That poor starving critter probably swallowed the other end of my rope, thinking it was a big stalk of sugar cane.
You think so?
Yeah. We gotta save him, Jed. Why don't you call Mr. Drysdale, see if you can make a deal with him for that poor, sick, miserable beast.
Granny, the other end of this rope is tied around that hog.
Hang yourself.
Hang himself?
Yeah. Amongst hogs, that's known as suicide.
What you been whitewashing?
The chicken house.
We ain't got no...
Please, Jed, don't call Mr. Drysdale.
I'm gonna untie that hog.
No, Jed, don't go. I'll do it. Please, Jed, don't go. Wait, Jed. Don't touch that hog. You'll get the epizootic, sure as shooting.
That hog ain't got the epizootic, and you know it.
Well, he's got something that's about to kill him.
Yeah, you.
Well, whatever gave you that crazy notion?
Well, let's say it's the way you got him whitewashed. Wash this hog down, and then you're going to let him be.
Jed, I can't leave him here alone and unprotected. The wolves might get him.
Wolves?
You know how they like little pigs.
I've never seen you so bound and determined to get your hands on a critter. What is it?
Jed, all my life I've wanted to win first prize for the biggest ham at the fair. And Willie Marr always beat me out. I'm an old woman, Jed. This is my last chance. If I could just go to my grave with a blue ribbon, I'd be the happiest woman alive.
Granny, I can understand you wanting this hog, but buy him off Mr. Drysdale fair and square.
All right, Jed, I will. After all, it's only money. You can't take it with you.
That's the spirit. Now, what do you figure is a fair offer?
Well, he's our next-door neighbor and our very dear friend. How about $1.25? All right, kid. I'll go $1.30. But for that price, he's got to pull it through the hedge for me.
$1.30? Granny, that hog will weigh out at close to 1,000 pounds.
That's all hoof and hide. Why, dressed, I bet you he wouldn't go 20 pounds. I'll be lucky to break even.
Hey, Granny, give me my commission. I went around the neighborhood like you told me to and took orders on $200 worth of hog meat.
Hush. Folks is on the phone.
Pretty good price for 20 pounds, isn't it?
Well, you wouldn't begrudge a poor old widow a little profit, would you?
Mr. Drysdale, this here is Jed Clampett. Say, would you consider $200 for that hog?
$200!
That's a deal, then.
Chief, winner rabbit!
Thank you, Mr. Drysdale. Bye. Granny, you can't take it with you.
Who's going anywhere? I'll have to put a lot of sawdust in my sausage to come out on that deal.
Granny, I told everybody...
You shut your big $200 mouth.
But, Granny, I told everybody you were going to come up with top-grade hickory smoked meat.
And you're right. I'm gonna cut me a piece of hickory and I'm gonna smoke your meat.
Come on, Harold. Wait's getting you away from here. Let's go.
Hey, Ellie, where you going with Granny's hog?
I'm taking him to the zoo because he ain't no hog.
Well, he better be a hog. I done sold $200 worth of that rascal, and I ain't even up to his spare rib.
Well, this critter's what you call a hippopotamus.
Can you get $200 worth of bacon, pork chops, or country sausage from a hippopotamus?
No.
Then this is a hog.
No, it ain't. It's a hippopotamus.
Don't say that, Ellie. You're going to cost me a fortune. Look, I'll show you what my commission comes to on what I've sold up till now. Look at here. $200 worth of orders. Now, that's 2 naught naught dot naught naught. Now, I get 5%. That's dot naught 5, and I put that under the naught naught and times it. Let's see, 5 noughts is naught, 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 5 twos is 1, and a naught. Now I just add that all up and put down the knot. Well, I made me $1,000 commission.
Oh, $200 worth of orders?
It looks like in the meat business, the money's in the selling. Hog, I'm gonna get rich just selling your sausage.
There ain't gonna be no sausages because this here is a hippopotamus.
It might be a hippopotamus now, but it's coming out of that sausage grinder a hog.
No, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
It don't find me down to Ellie Mae. That hog ain't to be played with. Now, you take him around eating.
What do you mean, Granny? Ellie will take our hog to the zoo.
Ellie's gonna take him back to the trough like I told her.
But, Granny, listen.
Now, you listen, child. That hog's hind leg is gonna send me to my grave a famous woman. For years, they'll be talking about the Daisy Moses Memorial Ham. Right on, Jethro?
Don't you worry, Harold. Ain't nobody gonna run you through no sausage grinder. Hey, I got an idea. I know one place where Granny can't get at you. Come on.
Chief, the owner of the circus just called.
Oh, good. Did he get the bank commercial tattooed on my fat lady?
Of course not. He wants to know if you'll take a baby elephant off his hands.
No, I won't.
The Children's Zoo would love to have it.
They would, eh? Well, maybe we can work something out. Now, let's see. A nickel drop into my trunkle, draw 5% from sweet old uncle.
No, Chief, no. I have told you the Children's Zoo will not permit you to paint bank commercials on their animals.
Then they don't get the elephant. No more, Mr. Nice Guy.
Chief, listen, please. It seems that the baby hippo and the baby elephant were inseparable companions. Now the baby elephant is pining away for his friend. They should be together.
But how can they be? I just sold the hippo to the Clampetts. They think it's a big hog. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe I can tell them the elephant is a long-nosed calf.
Can we come in?
Granny, Jethro, how are you? How's that big hog?
He's too darn high. That's how he is.
Beauty, but
you speak when you're spoke to. Now, you and me is gonna do some hog haggling.
There's no need to, Granny. You can have him free.
Oh, no. I came here to haggle, and we's gonna haggle. Now, you set a price, then I'll make an offer. Then we'll lock horns and go at it.
Granny, if he's willing to...
You listen and learn, boy. I'll show you how it's done. All right? Let her fly.
What?
50, and that's my last offer.
Well, all right. So?
Get him. He don't know what hit him.
Granny, he was going to sell you the hog for $30.
You might have to carry me for part of it.
Oh, no problem. Oh, Granny, as long as we're dealing, how would you like to buy a long-nosed calf?
Oh, no. No, Chief. You are not going to sell her that.
But if she wants it?
No, I absolutely will not let you.
Jethro, you are now watching the oldest trick in the haggling business. You see, she, pretending that she wants the calf, is supposed to make me want it all the more. That's what they call chumming the sucker. Here's your money for the hog. We'll talk about the calf some other time, when your partner ain't around.
Well, I'll be right with you, Granny. Mr. Drysdale, I'm going to open up a big account with you. I'm making money hand over fist.
Wonderful.
How you doing it, Jethro?
Well, selling meat on commission. I made $1,000 already today.
What kind of meat are you selling?
Oh, hickory smoked ham, bacon, chops, ribs, you name it, I got it.
Well, then, put me down for $50 with the bacon and ribs.
I'll take $20 worth.
Hot dog. 50 and 20. Not, fetch down the knot. I done made another $350.
Jethro, when do we get the meat?
Oh, quick as Granny butchers that big hog you done sold her.
What did he say?
He said, quote, quick as Granny butchers that big hog you done sold her, unquote.
I thought that's what he said. I'd better get Mr. Clampett on the phone and tell him to stop Granny.
I'll say you'd better. And if anything happens to that hippo, Uncle Milby will be Uncle Mud. Children will picket this bank. Moppets will mob you in the street. Their parents will withdraw their money.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no answer. You don't suppose those hillbillies already have...
If they have, you had better leave town.
My hog is gone! My hog is gone! Hog zappers! Call the police! Fetch my gun! Get out of posse! Jethro, where's my hog?
Ain't he at the trough?
No, he's gone!
Oh, I done been wiped out.
I wanted to die famous.
I bet you Ellie done took the hog to the zoo.
I don't hardly think she'd do that in her swimming suit.
Like the water, don't you, Harold? Granny's scared of it, so we safe in here.
Ellie Mae's drowning my hog. Quick, Jethro, jump in and pull him out. Give him mouth-to-mouth recitation.
I ain't getting close to them jowls till he's on a plate.
He won't drown, Granny. He likes the water.
He'll shrink. His hide will pucker. Get him out of there.
Well, I ain't coming out till you promise not to butcher Harold.
She done turned him into a pet.
Forget him, Jethro. By the time he gets out of the water, he'll be ruined. There ain't no market for soggy sausage.
Granny, how's the hog? Is he all right?
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. We just given him a bath. I tell you what. I'll trade you my big, clean hog, even up, for your dirty little long-nosed calf.
It's a deal.
Chief, both those animals are going to the children's zoo. You promised.
Oh, well, all right. Back to Mr. Nice Guy.
Mr. Drysdale, I don't want to shame you in front of nobody, but that ain't no long-nosed calf.
Thank you.
But that zoo sure is getting a prize-winning hog.
Chief, I just spoke to the director of the children's zoo, and the truck is on its way.
Fine, fine.
The children are going to be charmed and delighted by these animals.
They's gonna like these poems, too, Mr. Drysdale.
Poems?
Yeah, he's wrote a dandy on this critter. You can give my trunk a yank if you bring your folks to the Commerce Bank.
Piddling little pot. I've been making my spring tonic for 66 years, and this is the teensiest batch I ever whomped up.
Well, it ain't your fault, Granny. Aunt Pearl didn't send as many roots, yarbs, and berries as she generally does.
Yeah. Well, it ain't Pearl's fault neither. They've had a long, hard winter back home.
I know. She said back to our cabin, the snow was 3 feet deep.
And even deeper outside. Well, there's no use fussing over what we can't help. I'll go get some bottles, and we'll commence to cork up what we got.
Well, I'm all set to take Granny's tonic around the neighborhood.
That's gonna happen?
Helen May, will you tell that ape of yours to stop doing everything I do? I get a wheelbarrow, she gets a wheelbarrow. I paint a sign, she paints a sign.
Well, let's see your sign, Bessie.
Dumb old animal. Didn't even dot the I's. Hey, Granny, you don't want no hairy old monkey toting your tonic around the neighborhood, do you?
No, I don't, so get back to your chores.
I'm talking about that monkey.
Neither one of you is going to tote my tonic, because I ain't got enough tonic to tote. Now get, both of you.
Copycat.
We ain't going to have more than enough for just the family and a few close friends, Ellie. Now, this bottle is for Mr. Drysdale.
Helen May, your monkey's whomping the tar out of that little dog again.
Well, Jethro went and got her mad.
I think what she's riled about is the dog jumping in her wheelbarrow.
Ellie, you're going outside. Take my tonic skimmings and put it around my geranium.
Yes, I'm Granny. Bessie, you pick on somebody your own size. Now listen here, Artie. You stay out of Bess's wheelbarrow, or she's gonna snatch you hairless. She ain't none too fond of you to commence with. Nothing gets her riled like you messing around with her wheelbarrow. You just stay out of it, you hear? Otherwise, she might put a knot on you and then knock it off. Come on, Betsy. Let's put these tonic skimmings around Granny's geranium.
Yeah. These 2 bottles are for Mr. Drysdale.
2 this year.
Special request from his wife. And this one is for Dash Riprock. I'll get that rascal to propose to Ellie if it's the last thing I ever do.
Now, hold on, Granny. Ellie ain't marrying no boy. It has to be tonic to the altar.
Why not? Back home, my tonic saved many a girl from being an old maid.
Ellie ain't no old maid.
Jed, when are you going to get it through your head? When a girl passes 14, she's an old maid. Passes 16, she's a spinster. And when she passes 18, forget it.
That may be back in the country, but here in California, I hear tell a girl's getting married as late as 19 or 20.
Jed, you old apple knocker. You gonna swallow a story like that?
Never mind what I swallow. You just see to it that Dash Riprock don't swallow none of that tonic.
But why, what can I do? She ain't gonna get him with her cooking. You won't let me draw down on him with a 12 gauge. What else is there?
Love.
Love.
Love. If and when Dash Riprock proposes to Ellie, it'll be on account of love, and that's my final word.
All right, Jed. Whatever you say. You're the boss.
Good.
I'll take these 2 bottles over to Mr. Drysdale.
Fine.
It'll be for love. Dash is gonna love my tonic.
What's going on here? What is this?
Well, haven't you heard? Miss Hathaway's engaged to be married.
Oh, what?
No, Miss Murray, I'm not officially engaged. I've only received a proposal.
Back to work, all of you. And no coffee break this morning. Who proposed?
None other than the esteemed founder of Biddle's Bird Watchers, Professor P. Casper Biddle himself.
Is this not back in town?
Chief.
Well, I thought he lived up in the Tehachapi Mountains with those condors.
He does. Consequently, our only communication is by carrier pigeon. This morning as I was having breakfast, this winged messenger of love lit upon my windowsill with a brief but thrilling communique attached to her tiny leg.
He proposed by pigeon?
Yes, and bird lover that he is, he couched his proposal in the language of the ornithologist. He asked me to be the mother of his nestling.
Miss Hathaway, you wouldn't really marry that bird brain, would you?
Whether or not I accept his proposal, I must ask you to show the respect due the Commander-in-Chief of Biddle's Bird Watchers, of which I have the honor to be flockmaster of the Beverly Hills Nest.
Okay.
While his work in the preservation of the condor... Commander Biddle.
Stand at ease, Flockmaster Hathaway. You're not in uniform. Mr. Drysdale?
Aye.
You received my message.
Yes, but how did you get here so quickly?
Helicopter. This is an errand of the utmost urgency.
Oh, really?
What is your answer?
Oh, I need time to think.
There is no time. Say yes. Quickly, please. I need you.
Oh, but please, you're sweeping me off my feet. This is unfair.
Yeah.
I like it. Do you mind?
I'm sure this will help you decide. It's a condor egg, which the mother was forced to abandon.
Oh, this is a magnificent gift, Professor, but...
It's not a gift. I want you to hatch it.
This is the nestling you asked her to mother?
Yes.
Oh, fine.
You seem the ideal person. You're a bird lover. You sit here all day.
You expect me to sit on this egg?
Oh, no, of course not. I'm going out now and get you a small incubator. Just keep the egg warm.
Hold on, Biddle.
Biddle.
Biddle Schmiddle. He's not hatching any buzzards in my bank.
Well, it's the little professor. How are you?
I'm in a terrible hurry, Granny. Matter of life and death. I'll be right back.
Mr. Drysdale, I want to talk to you alone.
Yes, Granny.
Where'd you get the egg, Miss Jane?
Oh, Professor Biddle brought it to me.
I'd sure like to get a look at his chickens.
My dog is Ellie. When you put on a dress, you are prettier than a Jersey heifer in a clover patch. Where you going all gushing up?
Well, no place. Granny said to fix up for when Dash Riprock comes by to propose.
Granny said Dash was going to propose?
Well, yes, sir. Said I ain't gonna be an old maid no more.
Ellie, honey, you ain't a old maid.
Well, Granny says I am. An old maid, a spinster, pretty near to forget it.
Did she say anything about her tonic?
No, sir. It's still in a kettle on the stove.
You rang, Chief?
You bet I rang. Granny has told me of a shocking and disgraceful situation which must be remedied immediately, or there will be swift and severe retaliation.
Yeah, well. Did I tell you that?
I guess you said that Dash Riprock had been playing fast and loose with Ellie Mae.
Oh, that. Yeah. He's had 5 dates with her. Twice he kept her out till pretty near 9 o'clock. And still no ring on her finger.
Shocking, disgraceful.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, but what can I do?
See that he swallows this.
Yeah, see to it.
What is it?
My spring tonic.
Her spring tonic.
And if he's got one spark of love in his heart, that'll set it to blazing.
Marvelous stuff. Fabulous.
It sure put a tiger in your tank last spring.
Yes. Oh, well, I grabbed my wife. None for me this year.
You should have said so. I already left 2 bottles at your house.
You mean Margaret already got them?
I reckon so. Back home, my spring tonic has done more for romance than hay rides.
Yes, I know it possesses some rather remarkable properties. Tell me, Granny, do you have an extra bottle?
I'm afraid not.
She can have mine.
Your wife has likely downed both bottles by now and probably hollering for more.
I may have to go out of town on business.
Well, first I want to talk to you about Ellie's wedding. Now we want the best that money can buy. You can hire a $5 preacher.
Oh, Commander Biddle, I see you found an incubator.
Flockmaster Hathaway, if you were in uniform, I would strip you of rank and empty your canteen.
But why?
The charge is child neglect. Another 3 minutes and that precious condor egg would have been cold. Then the charge would have been... I'm beginning to wonder if you can be trusted to hatch this nestling.
Oh, yes, I can. It's just that I have other duties and my employer...
Nothing supersedes your sacred duties as a mother. Perhaps the flockmaster of the Glendale nest.
Oh, no, please, give me another chance. I promise to watch the egg devotedly.
Forsaking all others?
Yes.
In sickness and in health?
Yes.
For better or for worse?
Yes.
Oh, excuse me, I thought I heard a wedding.
Merely Miss Hathaway vowing to be a good mother.
Then it's definite.
Yes, it's all set. She knows.
Congratulations to you both. When is the big event?
Well, any time now, a condor egg...
Miss Murray, perhaps you could get the professor, P. Casper, a cup of coffee.
No, thanks.
A tea?
I never partake of stimulants in any form. Pure mountain spring water is Mother Nature's champagne.
Oh, let me fit your canteen. We have pure spring water in our cooler. Be right back.
Oh, Miss Hathaway, I'm so happy for you.
Well, we're keeping it a secret. You must promise not to tell anyone.
Not so.
Is this right? Is it decent? Is it honorable? No.
I never realized the pangs of expectant fatherhood. I'm as nervous as a gilded flicker.
Here, Commander, have a deep, soothing draught of spring tonic. Oh, water. Nature's champagne.
Thank you. To that unborn king of the sky.
Bottoms up.
You don't have any.
I drank my fill at the cooler.
To the condor.
Long live the king!
May he reign forever.
Supremus Caelorum Imperator!
Flockmaster Hathaway.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you that you look remarkably like a condor?
It's the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me.
I can believe that. I mean, after all, what is more beautiful than a Gymnogyps californianus?
Here.
Miss Jane, Miss Granny. Oh, hi there, Professor Biddle.
Ellie Mae, sweet, lovely child of nature, calls the crested jay from his perch and tames the wild corvus rhynchorhynchus.
You were saying, Commander?
Yes, I was saying. What was I saying?
I gotta rush home. My Tommy's commencing to eat through my kettle.
Bye, y'all. Nice to see you again, Professor.
Wait for me. I'm going with them.
You are not.
But I want to watch Ellie charm the birds from the trees. I think I'm in love with her.
Casper, how can you be so fickle? I thought you cared for me. Are you going to tell me now that I'm just another pretty face?
Well, no.
Think of the baby condor who will soon occupy that incubator. Are you going to desert him?
I can't help it. All of a sudden, I want to fly like an eagle.
Be my guest.
Now see what you've done. Oh, thank goodness they got away.
Don't stop here. Drive me around to the kitchen. I gotta save my tonic.
Yes.
That Kittle story got her home in a hurry, didn't it?
Sure did.
Oh, you got company.
Dash Riprock?
Oh, that little bird-watching fella, Professor Biddle.
Well, we just saw him down to the bank. How did he get here so fast?
Well, he was running when I seen him. Anyways, he's waiting for you.
In the parlor?
No. No, he's sitting up yonder, drinking out of his canteen, whistling like a bird.
How did he get up there?
Ellie Mae, you should have seen it. He ran up that tree just like a squirrel. If I didn't know better, I'd swear that little rascal had been tonic.
Come on, Jethro. Tote him in.
Reckon you're gonna be all right?
Oh, sure. I checked him over. Just had the wind knocked out of him.
I don't wonder. You must have dropped 30 foot out of that tree.
Good thing you fell in the doctor's yard, Professor Professor?
I don't think he can talk yet.
Well, put him on the sofa in the parlor here. I'll fetch something to bring him around.
Jed Clampett speaking. Oh, howdy, Miss Jane. No, he's here. Just fell out of the tree. Oh, Granny's got him in hand. Her and Ellie.
Ellie? Mr. Clampett, don't leave the professor alone with her. He's under the influence of Granny's tonic. I'll get there as quickly as I can.
How you feeling, Professor?
Oh, he's coming along just...
Ellie Mae, you better go fetch Granny. I think the professors are mighty feverish.
Well, yes, sir, Pa.
No, I'm fine now, but how did I get here? Last I remember, I was at the bank.
Well,
Incidentally, I can highly recommend their water.
I just talked to Miss Hathaway. She'll be right over.
But she mustn't desert our unborn king of the sky.
What?
Professor Hathaway is hatching a condor egg for me.
Professor, I think you better lay back down.
Here you are, Professor. A little of my spring tonic will have you feeling sprightly again.
Hold on.
Oh, it's all right, Jed. I cut it for city folks, and I cut it some more for him.
All the same, I don't think he ought to have any.
Who's the doctor here? You or me?
You, but...
Thanks just the same, Granny, but I never partake of stimulants in any form. Pure spring water is all I ever drink.
Would you like one of my home-baked cookies?
Yeah.
No. That's 2 to 1. Girls, I gotta talk to you.
Nature's champagne.
Please let me go get him, Chief.
I can't do it. I'm leaving town.
But I don't dare leave him up there with Ellie. He's been tonicked.
So has my wife. That's why I'm leaving town. And in fact, Ravenswood is packing for me right now.
Miss Murray can take over. It's terribly important to me.
Miss Hathaway, I can't believe that you really want to marry that overage Cub Scout.
Well, I'm not at all sure that I do, but I still want him to ask me.
Why?
Well, I've never had the chance to say yes. I'd at least like the chance to say no.
All right, go get him.
Thank you, Chief. Well, would you like me to stop at your house and bring your bag along?
Of course not. She's the reason I'm leaving. Oh, you mean...
Jed! Hey, Uncle Jed, that little professor shimmied up that tree again.
Oh, he must have got a hold of some more tonic.
Well, don't look at me. I didn't give him any.
I'll climb up and fetch him down, Pa.
Oh, Ellie, you stay away from him.
Heck, fire. I'll get him down out of that tree.
Oh, hold it, boy. Them high limbs up where he's sitting wouldn't hold the likes of you or me.
Oh, I wasn't figuring to climb up after him. I'll just knock him down out of there with one of Ellie's cookies.
You won't let her.
Well, he sure ain't any good for eating.
Now, calm down, everybody. I'll go up and get him.
No, Granny, you're too old. 30-foot fall at your age, you could be stove up for a whole day.
What'll we do?
We'll figure something.
What, Master Hathaway? Have I ever told you you look remarkably like a condor?
Be careful! Think of your responsibility! If you fall, that egg won't have a father!
Howdy, Miss Jane. I reckon you seen him.
Yes, how did he get up there?
Granny's tonic.
Have you got any more?
Yeah, I got a few.
Why'd you do that?
I'm going up after him.
Have you seen Miss Hathaway?
Not for a couple of hours.
Her and the little bird watching professor left here together.
She was supposed to pick up my luggage. I tried to sneak out of the house just now, and my wife almost caught me.
Why are you running from your wife?
Why am I running from my wife? Because... Why am I running from my wife? I love that little woman.
Greetings, dear friends. Congratulations are in order.
Did you two get married?
No, but the professor did propose.
She turned me down.
And what's the congratulations for?
May I tell?
Of course.
We have just become the proud foster parents of a 7-pound condor.
Come, be Casper. We must make arrangements for the sitter. Tom!
Hey, You want to see something you won't believe?
We just seen it.
Not this you ain't. Ellie's chicken is playing the monkey's piano. Uncle Jed?
Yeah, boy?
I need to talk to you. I got trouble.
What kind of trouble?
Girl trouble.
What kind of girl trouble?
The worst kind. I ain't got one.
Oh, let's sit down, boy. What you hiding behind you there?
This is a picture of you when you was my age.
What you doing with that?
Well, I was hoping it'd jog your memory a mite. Granny says when this picture was took, you was a lady killer at Cass Cab.
Well, you know, Granny liked to stretch the truth when, What are you doing?
Notice the resemblance?
What do you want, boy?
I want some advice on how to get girls.
Well, I ain't the one to give you that. I wasn't a lady killer at Cass County.
You wasn't?
No, there's plenty of fellas had me backed off. There was, well, let me see now. There was, Now, you take over. What do you want to know, boy?
I want to know just exactly how you went about getting a girl.
Well, as I recollect, I done my best girl getting on Saturday afternoons.
Yes, sir?
Used to get all slicked up and go into town and stake out a good spot in front of the general store and go to whittling.
Whittling?
Yep. On a long piece of soft pine, just about like that. Of course, out of the corner of my eye, I was watching the girls.
I see.
Right now, let me warn you about something. You got to keep half your mind on your watching and half on your whittling. A little too much of one or the other, and you're liable to lose a girl or a finger. Well, now, I didn't do none of my fancy whittling until I seen a pretty girl come along. Then I would peel off about a foot and a half. I'd peel off about a foot and a half curler, so thin. I'd peel off about a foot and a half curler. You got to remember that I ain't done much girl getting whittling for a number of years.
And then what happened, Uncle Jed?
Then I'd show her a few of my fancy mumbly peg throws, like my 3.5 off the wrist, or my side spinner off the ear, nose winder. And while I was doing that, I'd mention the barn dance that night, and before you know it, we was acquainted.
Hot dog!
What was all that for?
He's just full of oats, Granny.
I declare that boy'll eat anything.
He ain't been eating them, he just feels them.
Huh? Jethro says you told him how to get a girl.
Yep.
Well, tell me so's I can get a fella.
Well, I don't think it'll work for a girl, Ellie. You'd best ask Granny how to get a fella.
Well, would you tell me, Granny?
Let me think about it.
Oh, please.
I'm going to do it. I just want to think about it. At my age, you got to take your fun where you find it. Now, as I recollect, us girls used to do our best hunting in front of the general store on a Saturday afternoon.
Well, how come?
'Cause that's where the fellas used to stand and pretend to whittle whilst they watched the girls.
Granny, I ain't never seen fellas whittling in front of stores in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Come to think of it, they probably ain't no boys around today that dumb.
Got my pocket knife ready, Uncle Jed? Uncle Jed, I got plenty of that soft whittling wood you told me to get.
Yeah, now listen, boy, I got some more to tell you.
Shucks, Uncle Jed, you done told me all I need to know. If I go to peeling off them long curls, I got it made. I'm gonna be the lady killer of Beverly Hills.
Granny, I didn't realize the boy was so desperate.
Ellie, too. Or if she ain't, she ought to be. I can't go on telling folks she's 14 forever.
We have got to meet other young'uns. And there's only one sure way to do it, city or country.
A wing ding.
A wing ding?
That's what Mr. Clampett said he wanted, the biggest wingding in town.
Well, don't stand there. Go out and buy it for him.
A wingding is a dance, a party.
Oh, good. You know, I've been wanting to throw a big party for Mr. Clampett, and now that he's paying for it, let's go all out.
Not to be for Mr. Clampett, it's for Ellie and Jethro, so they can meet other young people.
Oh, I see. A party and a dance for young people. Okay, let's give those kids a real thrill. We'll get Guy Lombardo. Swing and Sway with Sammy Kaye.
I'm afraid not.
I've got it. Clyde McCoy.
Chief, young people today just aren't dancing to those groups anymore.
Oh, what's the matter with these kids today? A bunch of squares?
Hardly, but time marches on, vogues change. Right now, groups like the Beatles are all the rage.
The who?
The Beatles. They're the most popular group in the world. Why, they get as much as $100,000 for one appearance.
They do?
Yes. Last year alone, they made something like $14 million.
Well, let's get them.
For the Clampett party?
No, for depositors.
Getting back to the Clampett wingding.
Just take care of it. Anything they want.
Well, inasmuch as the Clampetts aren't acquainted out here, they've asked me to make arrangements for the music. Now, the Beatles aren't available, but there are groups who have a similar appeal. Herman and the Hermits, Freddie and the Dreamers, the Animals, the Birds. Of course, they probably aren't available on short notice either, but here are some others on my list.
If I paid them 4.5% and loaned it out at 7.5%, no, make that 8. Yes?
For the Clampett wingding, I may be able to get the lizards, the frogs, the termites.
Well, get them. Whatever Granny wants to cook. Oh, I've been doing some figuring. And to help you land that Beatle account, I'll make that a set of dishes for each of them. I'll throw in a bowl of artificial flowers and a plastic meat platter.
Gee, Chief, you've taken all the challenge out of it.
Well, Jethro, glad you're back. What's the matter? You look like somebody dropped a clod in your churn.
Jim, I didn't do no good at all of that whittling. You got no other way of meeting girls?
Matter of fact, I have.
Good.
And fellers, too.
I don't care nothing about them, just girls.
For Ellie Mae. And there's going to be plenty of both. We're going to throw you young'uns a wingding.
Thank you, Pop.
I'm just ashamed not to have done it sooner.
We going to have lots of victuals and pretty girls?
And music and dancing.
And victuals and pretty girls?
And games and prizes and stuff.
And victuals and pretty girls, huh?
That's our word for it, young'uns. We going to put the big pot on the little one.
Greetings, all. Holding a family conference, are you?
I was just telling the young'uns about our wingding. Miss Jane's going to take care of getting the music first.
Where you going to get, Miss Jane?
Well, I thought I'd spend the evening going to the places frequented by young people and auditioning the various musical groups.
Sound like a dandy idea.
Yes. Of course, it'd be even dandier if I had someone to accompany me.
Well, I'll go.
Well, perhaps.
Speak up, Jethro.
Oh, I don't care if Ellie goes.
Well, I think that Granny's going to need Ellie to help her in the kitchen tonight. But how about Jethro going?
Jethro? Now, that's a thought if you'd like to.
Why, he is just squirming to go, ain't you, boy?
Yeah. Splendid, Jethro. I'll pick you up early. That will give us time to catch the lizards, the frogs, the termites, and possibly even the moles.
Thanks, Miss Jane, but you just worry about the music. Granny will take care of the victuals.
Yes. Well, au revoir.
Knows everything I do. Oh yeah, I got a mojo woman. Knows everything I do. Oh yeah, she got 2 eyes on me, Lord. She got 2 eyes on you. She's going out of Louisiana to get a mojo man. Oh yeah, she's going out. To get a mojo man. Oh yeah.
rather wild, isn't it?
Huh?
I didn't expect it to be so frantic.
What'd you say?
I hardly think this is suitable to our needs. It's too savage, too primitive. It just won't do. It just grabs you, doesn't it?
Well, I've been looking the place over, and I think that front hall is best for square dancing.
Too bad we ain't got a barn.
Well, once we get it full of corn shucks and hay bales and pumpkins, one thing and another, that front hall's gonna look pretty good.
Well, I sure hope Jethro and Miss Jane find some good music tonight.
Hey, well, where'd they go, Granny?
Well, let's see. They started out at a place called Something to Go-Go.
Well, just so they come up with a good fiddle player.
Don't you walk on by, pretty woman. Don't you make me cry, pretty woman. If that's the way it must be, okay. I guess I'll go on home, it's late. Maybe
Jane?
tomorrow night.
Well, Miss Jane, where are you?
What do I see? Is he coming back to me? Pretty
Might as well give up, Earl. I know it's plumb past daylight, but Jethro is sleeping in this morning.
I gotta say one thing for California, Jed. No matter what time of year, you can always find flowers.
Want me to get these in water for you, Granny?
Please, honey. And then put them around the parlor. 'Cause that's where the old folks are gonna sit tonight while you young'uns are dancing.
Well, ain't you gonna dance?
Of course I am. I'm talking about old folks.
We dug up all the rocking chairs we got, Granny, but they ain't gonna be enough for all the old folks to rock.
Well, I'll pass around my rheumatism medicine. And them that ain't rocking will think they is.
Car left! March! Halt! Good morning, Granny. Mr. Clampett? Morning.
Are you all right?
All right. Do you know what time I got up this morning? 6 o'clock.
Jethro's sleeping in, too.
We all have mornings when we don't feel like getting out of bed.
I feel wonderful. I marched all the way from my house. Well, that's a good 100 yards. I guess I am a little bushed.
You look about the way Jethro did when he dragged in last night.
Yeah, him and Miss Jane was out awful late.
Yeah, the boy was dead on his feet, but he said that they found some mighty fine music for our wingding at that go-go place.
Plenty of young folks, too. Jethro hauled off and invited everybody that was there.
Well, I'm glad to know the music and guests are taken care of. Oh, by the way, did Miss Hathaway mention whether she had located the Beatles? Beatles?
Oh, I hope they ain't got into her garden. Them is the peskiest bugs.
Especially the potato beans. No. This is a group that sings and plays musical instruments. The dickens you say? Oh, yes, they're famous. They appear all over. They make a fabulous amount of money.
Singing Beatles, huh?
Well, let me know if Miss Jane finds them. I'd pay a quarter to see that myself.
Oh, no. You're still... They're like... Well, never mind. I saw a picture of them, and I'm still confused.
Jethro, did you get some good music for the wingding?
Did I ever? Where'd you see him, Ellie? 4 fellas that really wail.
Well, tell me about it.
You'll meet him when I fetch him home this evening. Right now I got to go into town and get me some clothes and do something about my hair.
Well, Granny, I'll cut your hair.
Cut it? Gee.
Morning, Mr. Drysdale.
Good morning, Ellie.
Let me get you a cup of coffee.
Oh, thank you.
How about a bowl of... Ellie Mae, there was 3 boxes of flakes in there.
Well, Jethro just finished breakfast.
Well, glad the boy's up. We can go out and get the decorations.
Jethro's gone to town, Pa. Said he'd be back this evening.
This evening? Why, we ain't gonna have time to fetch the trimmings for the hall.
Well, let me take care of that for you, Mr. Clampett.
Well, can you get hay and corn and pumpkins and such?
Anything you want. I'll have it brought in by the truckload.
I'd like some autumn leaves, if it don't cost too much.
Hang the cost. I enjoy spending money on my friends, especially when they can afford it.
It's about time you was getting home.
Well, where'd you get all this stuff?
Never mind. Now get upstairs and change your clothes.
Where's them fellas you was gonna fetch home?
Miss Jane's bringing them. Here, Ellen. There's more on the truck. Granny, you got this place looking like a barn.
No, thanks to you. Now get upstairs and change your clothes. Go on now.
What is it, Ellie?
Well, I ain't sure, Pa. It can't be a fiddle. There ain't no bow with it.
Not a banjo. It ain't round and it ain't got no skin on it.
It's kind of like a guitar, except it ain't holler. It don't hardly make no sound at all.
Reckon this is what them music fellas is gonna play?
I hope not. If your pa calls the dances above a whisper, he'll drown 'em out.
I'll see what else is on the truck. Don't go near Jethro.
What's the matter?
Well, he said Miss Jane was fetching fellas. She just drove up with a whole carload of girls.
It was an honest mistake, Ellie. These girls are right, but they dress like fellers.
Greetings, Mr. Clampett. Your winged musicians are here.
Hey, howdy, young fellas. Lady. Well, welcome, everybody.
These are the Clampetts. These are the enemies.
Howdy.
Hi, how are you?
Did she say they was the enemies? Yes, I'm glad they ain't on our side.
Oh, they have some other things to unload.
Oh, good. Say, excuse me, but do any of you all play the fiddle?
Well, if it's got a beat, we can fake it.
What do you make of it, Jed?
Jethro's got some explaining to do.
What about? How about this, huh?
Boy, have you looked in the mirror?
Why? Is my wig on crooked?
Your head's all crooked.
Why'd you get yourself up like that?
Well, this is the way all the fellas looks now.
Heck far, Pa. I ain't gonna have no fun tonight if all the fellas look like girls.
Well, cheer up, Ellie. It might be some sport just sorting them out.
Hello, Granny. I wanted to get by earlier. How's the wingding? Are the young people dancing?
No! They're twitching and jumping like a bunch of worms on a hot rock. No wonder they got long hair. They can't stand still long enough to get it cut.
I hope Mr. Clampett isn't too upset.
No. Jed's finally got him quietened down. He's trying to learn him to square dance.
Wonderful. Let's go see how he's doing.
Right hand, your partner. Left hand. Both hands, your partner. Now you see how easy it is, especially when I call out the moves for you. Now you reckon you can play that Turkey in a Straw tune?
Oh, sure.
Dandy. Let's get going. square dancing.
I'll be in the parlor with a jug and a rocker.
I'm with her.
Ellie?
I'm with them.
Me too, Ellie.
Isn't this exciting, Mrs. Drysdale? Discovering that your next-door neighbors may be descendants of the very first settlers.
Well, if it's true, but I just can't believe it. The Clampetts are so uncouth, so unrefined.
I prefer unspoiled.
Yes, Madam President.
Jethro, did you ask your teacher over to Pot School about that music like I told you?
Oh, yes, sir, Uncle Jet. She explained it to me, and I got it all wrote down. First of all, that there music is what you call chimes. Them's holler tubes that makes ringing sounds when struck by a plunger or a striker.
Say.
Oh, yes, sir. Now then, there is a reason why them chimes only ring when somebody comes to the door.
Like as if there was a lookout up on the roof of watching.
That's right. You see, there is a little button, and pushing that button makes that plunger hit them chimes. Doggy. So whilst you go ahead and go to the door, I'm going up on the roof and catch that rascal that's pushing that button.
Well, howdy, ladies. Come in, come in.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Clampett.
Have a chitlin.
Oh, what a treat, of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where's Granny?
Oh, she's out in the kitchen stone grinding some cornmeal.
Stone grinding cornmeal? Now, that's something we must see, Mrs. Drysdale. Come along.
In a moment, Madam President. Mr. Clampett, will you tell your cousin Pearl that my car and chauffeur are at her disposal?
Sure will. Pearl! You going to eat the chitlin?
Oh, yes, of course. By the way, Mr. Clampett, just what is a chitlin?
Oh, these ain't ordinary chitlins. These is Granny specials. They is possum innards deep fried in boiling hog fat.
Jack?
Pearl, how come you to be using Miss Drysdale's car?
Well, Ted, now that we's high society, I can't be seen riding around in that old truck.
When did we high society?
Since that historical lady found out that your ancestors come to this country for the Mayflower.
What's that got to do with me?
That's the way society works, Jed. The earlier your kinfolk got here, higher up that puts you.
I reckon the high society folks is the Indians.
No, it don't work that way.
How come?
I don't know how come.
Well, they was here for anybody else.
Now, Jed, let's not try to change the rules. Let's just start enjoying the game. Up to now, Mrs. Drysdale's treated us like wet dogs at a wedding.
It's kind of warmed up.
Warmed up? She can't do enough. Why, she's having her chauffeur take me to all the fancy stores and then to her beauty saloon.
I'm certain there must be an easier way to grind corn.
Oh, there is. Now, back home, we took our turn of corn to the grist mill down by Catfish Creek. Here in Beverly Hills, they ain't got no creek nor river to turn the mill wheel. So we have to go back to grinding corn like we learned from the Indians.
But surely any supermarket would...
Mrs. Drysdale, this is a priceless experience. A direct contact with the past. You can read about these things. But to actually participate in activities familiar to our ancestors it's to hold history in our hands.
I don't think I could hold anything in mine.
Smarter might, do they?
I'm afraid they do.
Isn't it shameful how soft we've gotten?
Well, you come on over here, Miss Drysdale. There ain't nothing like hot soapy water good for sore hands.
Thank you.
And this here soap will take the sting out of the pain.
You're very kind.
And while you got your hands in the hot soapy water, why, you might as well do a few of these dishes.
Dishes?
Well, you seem to set quite a store on handling all of these old historical pewter pots and pans.
Oh, I do. But I have to meet my husband at his bank immediately. In fact, I'm late now.
But don't you worry, Miss Drysdale. I'll save up a bunch of thrills for you, like churning and lye making and corn husking and chicken plucking and goat milking. My dingies! She does enjoy it. Did you see her run so she could hurry back?
Now, whose idea was the two baby goats?
Ellie Mae's.
If I didn't know. I declare, girl, you are the limit when it comes to dragging home critters. All I sent you for was a couple of chickens and a milking goat for Granny.
I know, Pa, but these little rascals cried something awful when we commenced to taking their ma away from them.
Oh, dear, I forgot that Pearl has my car.
Oh, Miss Drysdale, is someplace you gotta go?
Yes, to the bank to see Milburn. I'll call a cab.
Oh, no, that'd be downright unneighborly of us to let you do that. Well, Jethro and Ellie Mae can drive you down there.
Sure will.
In this truck?
And one good turn deserves another. After all, you let Pearl take your car.
Oh,
Yeah, you can have the backseat all to yourself, Miss
I'm
Drysdale.
in terrible hurry. I better call a
Ain't nobody can get you there faster than we can, Miss Drysdale.
Don't worry, Miss Drysdale. This hickory bench is tied on good and tight.
Yeah, but
Here, Mrs. Drysdale, you can hold that little feller so he won't bother me when I drive.
Now, remember, she's in a hurry, but drive careful, Jethro.
I think I better not go with you.
That's Miss Drysdale making noise like a siren.
Car's out of the way.
Come on, move over.
Did you come through the bank in this condition? Shame on you. How could you explain this?
The Clampett.
I don't want to hear any more complaints about the Clampetts. Oh, they may be a bit unrefined, but at least they don't run around the streets of Beverly Hills smashed.
What happened to your beautiful spring hat?
Oh,
boy, the crying jag. Get some coffee, I'll get her walking. Molly, I can't understand. I can't understand this. I have never seen you take a drink before the cocktail hour.
let go of me.
Martha, please lie down.
I will not.
Now, you're not going to be one of those kind of drunks, are you?
I am not intoxicated. I'm mortified.
The word is ossified.
When you listen to me, the Clampetts are to blame for this.
Of course. And I suppose Granny gave you some of her corn?
A huge bowl like this?
Here we are, Mrs. Drysdale. Have a sip of this.
Thank you, I shall. Oh, that does help.
Tell me, confidentially, what did happen to your hat?
It was eaten by a goat.
Have some more coffee, Margaret.
Mrs. Drysdale, you really must get a grip on yourself. Now, if Mrs. Smith Standish verifies that the Clampetts are indeed first family material, then you too will be in the spotlight.
I'll be in the hospital. So help me, if those uncouth hillbillies become my social peers, life will cease to be worth living. Oh, Miss Hathaway, take me home.
Margaret. What happened to your car? Did it get smashed, too?
Cousin Pearl has it.
Come in, whoever you are.
Bonjour, Jade.
Who are you?
Pearl, s'il vous plaît.
Pearl who?
Your cousin.
What'd they do at you at that beauty saloon?
That salon, s'il vous plaît. And they made me glamorous.
That ruined your hair. You took out all the color in the curl, too.
This ain't my hair. This is what you call a flatter wig. All them high society women is wearing them now.
How come? Ain't they got no hair of their own?
Of course they have. But variety is the spice of life. S'il vous plaît.
What's that s'il vous plaît?
I thought you'd never ask. That there's French.
What does it mean?
I don't know. But all them society women in the beauty salon kept a saying it to the fellas that was fixing their hair. I tell you, Jed, we gotta learn us some French if we're gonna be in high society. Mr. Chauffeur, you may go, s'il vous plaît.
Very good, madam. Good day, sir.
Yes, sir. Sure is, if it don't rain.
That's the way to live. A big limousine and a livered chauffeur. And then folks just know you's high society. All you gotta do is say a few of them French words, and they go to bowing and scraping all over the place.
What's all this stuff?
Them surprises for everybody. High society surprises.
You ain't getting me in one of them wigs.
Uncle Jed, Granny wants...
Bonjour, monsieur.
Who's she?
I'm your ma. S'il vous plaît, that's called.
Ma? Where'd you learn how to speak Italian? Hey, Granny, Ellie Mae, come look at Ma. She fell head first in a flour barrel.
We got our work cut out for us, making high society out of that one.
You can s'il vous plaît that again.
Killing me, high society ladies don't go round carrying goats.
Well, Miss Drysdale held one on her lap all the way to the bank. Didn't she, Jethro?
Oh, yeah.
What's all the commotion in here?
Looky yonder at glamorous Cousin Pearl.
Would you kindly tell me what is all so fired funny? You wouldn't know a high society woman if you'd see one. Well, I sure don't see one around here.
Hey, look at all the fine surprises here Cousin Pearl brung for us.
What'd you bring
for me, Ma?
Now, you find out. Now, I did a lot of checking today, and I found out that high society folks, especially rich ones like us, they have what you call hobbies. Hobbies and sports.
What's them?
Them things to keep them busy, because they don't do no work. Well, that lets me out. No, Granny, it's all right to work, long as the other high society people don't know you work. You see, high society folk is always bored.
How come?
I ain't sure. Probably because they don't work.
Well, why don't they just work and not bother with,
Now, Jeff, let's not go to changing the rules again. We're just getting into the game.
All right, Pearl, tell us what you want to do.
Well, Mrs. Smith-Stangy said they might be wanting to take our picture for the high society page in the newspaper. So I figure we gotta look like high society. Now, all of you go and put your clothes on, and when Miss Smith-Stangy sees us, she won't have to be shamed.
I don't think I want to get mixed up in this nonsense.
Granny, please.
Oh, come on, Granny. Since it pleasures Pearl so much, it can't hurt us none. Besides, Pearl knows a lot more about high society than we do.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff? Mrs. Smith-Standish, it gives me great pleasure to present my blood cousin, that international millionaire and high society sportsman, Mr. J.D. Clampett. Jed! Do something, Jed. A polo for us.
I don't know how you pole. I feel like a named fool. Look at this thing. I don't know whether you snare them or knock them off trees.
Well, you go sit over there, Jed. We'll be drinking tea and playing bridge directly. Granny, you're next. And now it gives me great pleasure to present that famous high society dowager and international sportswoman, Granny, whose favorite hobby is big game hunting in darkest Africa.
It's a good thing for you this gun ain't loaded.
Granny, you go on over there and sit down, and we're going to have tea and bridge. Now, those of us who is high society knows there just ain't nothing more cultured than ballet dancing. And so it gives me great pleasure to present them wealthy, bored, international young'uns whose favorite hobby is ballet dancing, Ellie Mae and Jethro.
How beautiful.
That's only half. Come on out, Jethro.
I ain't gonna do it.
Jethro, come on out.
I don't want to, Ma.
You look fine. You're just dripping culture.
Mrs. Bodine, Jethro shouldn't be wearing this tutu.
See, Ma? I told you.
Well, I know it ain't big enough, but it's fine for the pictures. No, wait a minute. Wait, come back. We ain't got tea and bridge yet.
Pearl?
Go away.
Oh, Pearl, come on out. Don't sit in there and sulk. Miss Smith Standish wants us to show her how to do the Virginia reel.
You show it to her. I ain't no mood for dancing.
Oh, we can't dance it without you. Come on, everybody's getting all dressed up.
I had you all dressed up and you run out on me.
Pearl, we just ain't ready for society that high. Now, Miss Smith Standish wants us all to get dressed for reeling. Come on out. You can wear your store-bought hair.
I can't neither. She's gone.
Is that old go-get-it? Crazy enough to eat anything.
Oh, you're doing beautifully, Mrs. Drysdale. I'm proud of you.
She sure got the hands for it, ain't she?
Miss Drysdale, your husband's here. He's going to dance with us.
Thank goodness. Oh, my hands. My hands. They'll never be the same again.
There's nothing like milking a goat to pretty the hands.
Come on, Granny. We're getting ready for the Virginia reel. I'll fetch your lap organ in for you.
Oh, Mrs. Drysdale, have you seen this priceless antique lap organ?
Oh, so that's what it is. I mean, it's marvelous.
You like music, Miss Drysdale?
I adore music, especially the authentic lap organ.
I reckon Granny will let you have a turn, won't you, Granny?
Why, sure.
Mrs. Drysdale, did you hear that? Oh, what a red-letter day this is for you.
Oh, yes, indeed it is, Madam President.
Well, come on, let's get in there and get at it.
Somebody's gonna have to spell Miss Drysdale. She's all plumped out.
Excuse me, Mrs. Smith Standish, I'm on the telephone. Long distance from Virginia.
Oh, that's headquarters. Mr. Clampett, if our genealogical records confirm those entries in your family Bible, you will make headlines from coast to coast. Your pictures will be in every newspaper. As direct descendants of the first family to settle Jamestown, you'll be celebrities, all of you. You'll be on radio, television, flown to New York for a ticker-tape parade, then on to Washington to meet the president, address a joint session of Congress. Statues will be erected of you.
Excuse me, the telephone.
Let her roll, Miss Hathaway. Oh, she's right. I've got to come down to earth long enough to get confirmation. Excuse me. Mrs. Smith Standish speaking. Yes? Yes. Oh, well, that was the entry in the old Bible I couldn't quite make out. Oh, well, Mr. Clampett is right here. I'm sure he'll be able to give us confirmation immediately. Mr. Clampett, if your great-grandfather's name was Ezekiel, you are the Clampett the world is waiting to discover.
Well, now, I kind of hate to disappoint you, ma'am, but his name was Jeremiah.
I could have told you that, Madam President. Not for one moment was I fooled.
I'm sorry. No, there seems to have been some kind of a mistake.
Jed? What's ailing you? You know doggone good and well your great-grandpappy's name was Ezekiel.
Yeah, I know, Granny. But what would an old mountain goat like me have to say to the president and Congress? Come on, everybody, let's have another Virginia reel. Yeah! Salute you, buddy.